7.
Hello everyone, welcome back, or not welcome back, I'm so used to running Dungeon the Mad Mage.
Welcome back to episode 322.
Welcome to a new Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Where Evil Lives. This is going to be an adventure based off of the Adventure Paths book series, whatever, by MCDM Studios. I am not affiliated with MCDM. That name is so hard to say. This is not a sponsorship. I just think that they produce really, really cool shit, and people should check it out if they like really cool Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So,
Awful.
this is a series of smaller, bite-sized adventures. We do not know how many we're going to play, but we're going to try it out and we're going to see how it goes. So, for this particular evening, we are going to be playing Where Evil Lives, the Hanging Tree. And that is where we're going to kind of jump in. So, before we kick off anything else, for anyone new who happens to be watching, probably not on Twitch, but maybe on YouTube, we'll see. I am Jeremy Rose, the Dungeon Master for this particular game. I'm going to go around in order, and I'm going to not dox all of my players because they are not professional actors or necessarily a part of online personas or anything like that. So yeah, please treat them well. We have up in the top left corner, Mitch, who will be playing Guy. We'll do further character introductions as we actually get into the game. We have down from there, we've got Lily, who will be playing Keith. We've got in the bottom left corner, Jay, who is playing Linsey. And then in the double camera, we have Cassandra playing Dolly and Zach playing Durrag.
Durrag,
okay.
Deep Shine. Please use my full given name.
I will not.
IRL?
So, a little bit of a intro to what in the world is going on, because these adventures are all segmented and individualized and meant to be placed into the larger whole of a campaign, which we are not doing because I need some break time, so I'm basically just running these off the cuff. We're just going to run these adventures off the cuff. And to facilitate that concept, our players, or their characters, are all a part of a mobile adventuring guild. Thank you very much, Insultabot, for the bits. They are part of a mobile adventuring guild that has a teleporting castle that goes all around the world and takes on contracts in areas in order to stomp out evil wherever evil lives. So, in this particular instance, our band of adventurers are already on mission. They have already been given their contract to head to the Hanging Tree, and now I am going to tell my players what the fuck that actually is, because they have no idea. So,
well, I'm from the south, so I have an idea, and it's not pretty.
Okay. This is the one thing that the one thing that I have a problem with this particular adventure in this book is I'm like, why is that the name?
Don't like it.
Why is that the name? Oh, so more specifically,
called Mar-a-Lago?
The location that you all are traveling to is a bar at a crossroads, named the Hanging Tree. This bar is a front for a mercenary organization known as the Ivory Throne. The Ivory Throne has been a mercenary organization for a very long time, but up until a few years ago, it has been relatively small fry. Couple of engagements throughout history here or there, but not a big deal. In the last few years, that has changed as a new leader of the Ivory Throne has come to power, Dohma Raskovar, a orcish entity that is very good at getting a job done and has a very good head for business. Because of this, the Ivory Throne's
Also, very
success
swole.
rate has gone
Looking
up,
at that picture.
and the membership... Say what, Mitch?
Yeah, also very swole looking at that picture.
Very swole looking. Yes. If you're looking at the layout, Jay and I had a lot of fun putting together this particular layout. So, if we continue further, we will see more bosses proudly displayed as parts of the layout, and this is Dohma Raskovar. So, the Ivory Throne has become a problem. Its membership has swollen, and in and of itself,
Much like
as
the
a
leader.
mercenary guild, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. What is a bad thing is that Dohma Raskovar has started to liberally use the Ivory Throne's strength and numbers to start to commit more or less savory actions or take on less savory contracts. Thievery, murder, assassination, arson, etc., etc. And that is one of the big reasons why the guild has now set its eyes against the Ivory Throne. So, the party is heading towards the hanging tree, the front for the Ivory Throne. I say front, but you would have been informed, your characters would have been informed that the bar itself is just a front. The Ivory Throne's real base is under the bar. So, the guild wants you specifically to do a very important mission. And that very important mission is to kill one of the reasons why the Ivory Throne is such a potent threat at this particular moment. And it's not Dohma Raskovar. It is a monstrous creature called the Scyza, or Scyza. It's a huge reptilian monstrosity, and the reason why the guild wants it dead is that these things don't stop growing. As long as they continue to eat, as long as they continue to age, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the guild is concerned that at the Ivory Throne's current strength, if no one steps in and takes down this creature, the Ivory Throne will continue to feed it, it will continue to grow, and eventually, the Ivory Throne will no longer be able to control it, and it will become everyone's problem. So, that is the mission. That is main objective. Find out where within the Ivory Throne's base of operations the Scyza is, and kill it. Everything else is secondary. That being said, how you go about achieving that is entirely up to all of you. You are traveling to the crossroads. You will arrive at a time that you pick as a group. Any time of the day, the hanging tree is open. So if you all have a particular concept of like, maybe we show up at this time because of X, then you can do that, right? And you can choose to kick in the door and go in guns blazing, or you can try a little bit of subterfuge. If you are interested in the second, you have been told by the guild that, generally speaking, any customers are allowed to come and go from the bar. It's just when you get into the Ivory Throne beneath the bar that things will probably become hairy. The other thing is that should you wish to speak to Dohma Raskovar directly, you have been instructed to order a boiling oil from the bar.
Boiling oil or boiled oil?
Boiling oil.
Boiling oil.
Boiling oil. And what does that do? What does that signify? I know you just said it.
That will, in theory, from the guild's informants, they have been told that if you do that, Dohma Raskovar will come and speak to you, probably with the assumption that you have a job that you want done. So if you want to try a bit of subterfuge, that's a potential route to figure things out.
So we can just get a freebie to talk to the BBEG, just like a lifeline.
Let's just set the whole building on fire.
What's with you and setting things on fire?
I will give you
Oh, well,
a couple.
problems.
I'll give you a couple of heads ups. Right, the guild has already done a lot of groundwork for you, and there's a reason why they're sending you in as an adventuring group. Right, they have found no other entrances into the Ivory Throne. As far as they can tell, there's no secret tunnels that head into the Ivory Throne or any other way in there that they have been able to find, right?
Okay.
It's just this bar.
Well, it's a bar
But they
and
know.
whatever's below the bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
because
if
they
there's no
know there's
entrances,
something
there's no
below the
other
bar, right? And then the other thing that they've been informed of is that you could destroy the bar, and it's not going to matter to the base beneath the Ivory Throne. That there is some sort of... They haven't been explained why, but there's some sort of barrier or disconnect or something that even if you bulldoze the entirety of the bar, the Ivory Throne beneath it would be fine.
Okay.
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 What do y'all want to do?
I'm not opposed to just going into the bar, taking a look around,
Yeah.
see what's there.
I would be for that over setting it on fire.
I'm really interested in setting it on fire.
Why do you want to set it on fire?
Why not?
Because
What's your alignment?
well,
Just had a
Yeah.
question.
Pro fire.
Pro Fire. Best alignment, Pro Fire. Right there.
yeah, I don't want to set people on fire.
Well, I mean...
How about we make that like the tertiary plan?
Okay, so I had
Further
got a
than
phone call while you
tertiary.
were talking.
I don't think there's a word for.
We just know the entrance is somewhere in the area of the bar.
It's there is some entrance in the bar. Basically, so the guild has
Okay.
several informants, and they've tried to fill the guild in as best they know, but many of these informants aren't active members of the Ivory Throne. They're either old members or people who have vendettas or things like that, right? So things have potentially changed. The Ivory Throne has been around for decades, but they know that the bar is a front, that there is somewhere in the bar that leads below, and that below is the real base of operations for the Ivory Throne.
Okay.
Through our intel, would we have been told is setting foot in the ivory tower like an immediate death sentence or
No.
like?
Not at all.
Throne.
So you could potentially, depending on how things go, you could try to sneak your way in. It might be difficult. You would have to find where the entry is and then get all 5 of you into that entry without being detected. Or maybe if you can sweet talk Baron or Dohma Raskovar, you can just get invited in, right? It's just a matter of how you all want to play things out, and the guild is giving you free reign to complete the mission however you want to complete the mission, right?
So, all right. So
in character, we could always try the bathroom. It is called the Ivory Throne. Maybe we just need to stop and take a leak.
Okay.
I don't think there's any downside to just heading into the bar and at least looking
Yeah.
around, maybe talking to some people.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
A couple
I think
things.
let's
A
head
couple
there.
quick things before we actually hop into to play. And that is, I gave you all a quest list earlier, so this is your quest list from the guild. You all already know, I just talked a little bit about what that kind of like main quest objective is from the guild itself, is they want you to kill this monstrous reptilian creature called the Scyza, right? But you do have a series of side quests. I'm going to cover these real quickly, right? If you have questions or you want to ask for clarification at any time we're playing, just hit me up. One of your side quests is recover the Helden Crest, a former member of the Ivory Throne, or a person's father was a former member of the Ivory Throne and had a crest of their family that the Ivory Throne has kept after that person has died, right? They want it back, and they're willing to pay for it. Simple as that. All you have to do is find the crest, return it, wham bam, thank you ma'am, right? Side quest 2 is more complicated, and that is depose the Dohma, right? So this is a side quest, not necessarily to kill Dohma Raskovar, though that would fulfill the quest. It's get Dohma Raskovar to no longer be in power of the Ivory Throne, either through killing Dohma Raskovar, abolishing the power base of the Ivory Throne, or doing something that would cause Dohma Raskovar to no longer be able to lead the Ivory Throne, right? And then side quest 3 is Dohma Raskovar is very good at business, very paperwork minded, one could say, right? Very organized. There are contracts for all of the members of the Ivory Throne. This side quest comes from a person that no longer wants to be bound by that contract, and they want as many of the contracts as you can find destroyed. So if you find where the contracts are kept and destroy those contracts, thus nullifying any binding oaths that the Ivory Throne has with its people, you also gain a reward then.
Then you get to burn stuff, Zach.
That's when you get to burn stuff. There you go. Got it. All right. Fuck it. Let's go into a different situation. Let's go get some music. All right.
So do I get my reward for the objective?
Oh, was
That was a joke. That was in fact a joke.
Was that absolutely 100%? That counts.
Yay!
100%
your
that
objective
counts.
was make a joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is one
No,
of
it
the
was to
objections.
get laughs. So then I was like, do those laughs count if they
Sure.
were like, ha ha ha?
All right.
I would say yes.
I would absolutely. These objectives are meant to be fun and just give people additional optional things to do, so I'm not going to be a hard ass about any objectives. All right. Gotta adjust music stuff. So, I will say, Keith, for your idea, as you approach the hanging tree, you do see just to the north
black.
of the bar is a series of outhouses.
I have pure blackness.
That's because you don't have character tokens on the thing yet. Calm down.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, you were talking about things to the north that we
Did we
could see.
decide what time of day we want to approach?
We have not yet, so y'all should totally do that.
I vote the evening for peak busy time
Yeah,
so that we can
Busy
blend
time.
in better.
I like that idea.
That's fine with me.
No.
Because I mean, I'm already gonna stand out. I'm a robot gnome on a robot wolf. So
Am I overthinking it? That maybe the entrance would be outside the actual bar? Maybe we should go look at the outhouses.
It makes sense to me.
You're gonna take a potty break. Have at it.
it might. What might be a good idea is you could, go to the bathroom and kind of scout around and see if maybe you see any tracks leading somewhere off the beaten path. Maybe.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sure.
So yeah, Keith will go over and kind of take a look at the outhouses to see if there's anything like I don't know, like that shouldn't be there, or that looks kind of, suspect, like potentially a trapdoor, or
Sure.
you know what I mean, like something that's around in that area.
Absolutely.
Is that investigation or is it perception?
So I would say that sounds to me like it could be one of three things. It could be perception, it could be an investigation, or it could be a survival check. All of those sound applicable.
If I know that she's about to do that, I'll walk up and pat her on the shin, because that's probably about where I'd reach, and say, "Here you go," and I'll cast guidance.
Guidance.
So
Also little.
I'm little. I am
Let's
half.
try these rolls today. Let's see how we do.
Oh shit.
There we go.
23, absolutely. Keith, you spend a few moments. Actually, I should have done this. Why don't you, if you would like, let the audience. We're gonna do this as each player actually does something, or we get into something bigger, right? Who is Keith? What are they, and what do they look like?
Oh, sure. So Keith is a female noble. She is a human who is pretty average size, like around your 5'5" area. But she really loves hunting. She's an archer. She loves hunting, and she has a thing for birds. She likes to be out in nature and bird watching and that kind of stuff.
Did you say she's a noble?
She is a
So is she one of those, like, out there with her falcons, like, hunting in the fields type scenarios?
She would prefer not to, live up to her family name and do everything that they would expect her to do. She'd rather be out in the woods and the wild, and her parents would prefer that she would be doing what she's supposed to be
This
doing.
might not be the woods and the wild, but it is a teleporting adventurers guild, so the next best fucking thing, right? Definitely.
And she's like a go with the wind kind of person. And so that's, going to hunt for a giant lizard sounds right up her alley.
Sounds right up the
That's
alley.
where we're at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So investigation 23. What do I get?
23.
Will a D4 get anything more?
Yeah, I mean, you can add your guidance to it, right? Because guidance doesn't stick around very long, so you can roll a D4 from Linsey's guidance.
That's a 24.
All right.
Well,
Hey, you take what you can
I
get.
typed that, so that was
Look.
probably my problem. I should have clicked.
a 24 at level 3 is phenomenally good, right? Like, that is insanely good. Keith, you as the party is kind of like heading or arriving at the hanging tree, right? The bar's right there. You can kind of all hear what the goings on in it. It's getting towards evening, so there's like firelight coming in from inside, lanterns and things like that. You spot the outhouses and you're like, let's check this out, right? So like the rest of the group is just kind of putzing around as you're investigating this situation, and to save gross details, you are thorough enough, while being cleanly enough, to be positive that these are just a bunch of outhouses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I need a drink after that.
Right?
Not from the outhouse. Are you serious?
It was a bad idea. Why did you guys
Start slurping up some booty smoothie.
Oh no!
Jeremy, does that count as my
Yes, it absolutely
joke?
counts as a joke, 100%. Booty smoothies. Oh goodness. Fantastic. So,
That's so gross.
just as
Right,
kind of
well,
like
I
a little
think
bit of a heads up, the reason why the players are asking, does that count as a joke, is because we're playing with some little objective cards. So all of the players have a couple of little minor objectives that they can complete during the course of the adventure to give themselves little bonuses, like little 1d4 dies of inspiration, or like a little token that will give them a bonus effect, right? Those types of things. And it also gives them guild coins that they can use in between adventures to exchange for gold or items or those types of things. So
It's literally grade from the Tales of game.
yeah, Absolutely, right? So, Keith comes back positive that the outhouses are just outhouses and not especially well cared for outhouses at that, and probably do not lead to anything else other than a really bad pit. So, you are all outside of the doors to the Hanging Tree, which is a mid-sized bar at this crossroads. How are you going in? What's happening?
What does the door
Trotting
look
up to
like?
the front door.
What's the door look like? It's this big kind of double door. And it looks like it's actually gotten busted off of its hinges probably a half a dozen times or so, right? Because you can see like splinters in the corners, and like the hinges themselves look a little like they've been reattached multiple times. There's buckling in the frame and stuff like that. But other than that, the doors themselves are just these big kind of like wooden doors, right?
Okay.
I will also say, there don't really seem to be any windows on this place. It's just a big wooden building.
Well, I mean, there's nothing for it.
What are we talking? Are we in the bar yet?
Let's go.
You're heading to the bar.
We're heading in.
We're heading in.
Look like?
They're big doors.
Two really tiny guys just
Well, I was gonna go
food
in.
in the door.
I mean, by all means.
As we approach the door,
Sure.
I am going to hop off of Artorias because it's probably frowned upon to be riding him indoors.
You think so?
Is it?
I assume so.
Okay, you make that assumption. By all means. Are you all... I'll ask this question. Are you all just walking in kind of nonchalantly, or are you trying to make like an announcement? Like, are you like shoving the doors in and like, we're here type scenario, or is this kind of just like hey, let's have a drink, chill, that type
No,
of
we're
thing?
cash. We're cash.
We're cash?
We're very casual.
Okay, we're very cash. Fantastic.
Wait,
You
There's a lot of ball
open
money.
the doors.
A lot of people in very little hair.
There's very little hair.
all the hair that would be on their head is on their shoulders.
Absolutely very little hair.
Ugh.
Who am I supposed to, who are we supposed to sweet talk? I feel like Dolly, her physique is very smooth
Yes.
talking.
Okay, so a couple things as you kind of like head in. You did pick a kind of busy time, right? So the bar is full of patrons. There's more than a dozen people sitting around tables, buzzing with conversations, clanking of, mugs of ale, steins, those types of things. You see, and I think each of you will clock, basically as soon as you walk in, that there is a human bouncer at the door, right?
bouncer.
Like just to the south of you, because he's standing there like this, doing the like quintessential like very frowny face, arms crossed, leaned up against the wall right next to the door. Very obvious kind of situation, right? Then there's also an orc on the south wall that seems to be doing a similar thing, but in a much more casual pose, right? Just kind of like leaning against a wall, not talking with any of the patrons, not drinking with anyone, just kind of like standing there. And more specifically, this orc is like decked out in armor, right? Like has a chainmail vest on, has a shield and a spear sitting next to them, that whole type of thing, right? So there seem to be two bouncers immediately off the bat, right? The other thing that you see is these little red marks that you can see all across the walls are actually scrolls. They're wall scrolls illustrated with landscapes and portraits of the countryside. Just random little places, cityscapes, little towns nestled in valleys, and it actually adds this oddly calming vibe to the overall raucous nature of this bar, right? And yeah. So you step in. There is music coming from, as far as you can tell, nowhere, right? There's just music coming out of thin air. Classical kind of like D&D tavern music, just the strumming of a lute, the occasional like panpipe, that type of thing, right? A little bit of drums. And a few people look your way as you enter in because you're such a big party, right? But for the most part, no one really cares about your entry. The two bouncers definitely note your entry and stare at you hard for a little while, but you don't come in charging or anything like that, so they just lean back and don't worry about it. So what do you want to do?
I want to drink.
You want to
Yeah,
drink?
we got
Me
the
too.
bartender seems to might have information.
Okay, so do you all want to head to the bar, or do you want to get a table and send someone to the bar for drinks?
Oh, good plan.
It's up to y'all.
I would like to.
Shouldn't have your back to the crowd, so that's a good plan.
Which one of these orcs is guarding?
So
There's
this
two-
guy
two
to the
orcs.
south looks like he's guarding. This one at the bar over here just has a cup in front of him and just looks like he's drinking.
He's just a drinking orc.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go sit next to the drinking orc.
Okay. As you sit next to the drinking orc, the orc's lip kind of curls up. Roll me an insight, Durrag. And while you're doing this, introduce yourself and describe who Durrag is.
All right, Durrag Deepshine is he's a dwarf. He's lanky by nature. Hair ashen black. As
This
if
is
he's
not the
been
correct
through-
music for this introduction.
As if he's been through several forest fires.
Damn it!
Durrag
What the fuck?
Is
Is
he
a
actually an
practitioner.
arsonist?
Yeah, Durrag is just a fucking arsonist.
Durrag is a practitioner of the noble elven art of blade singing.
Oh, yeah. The firebending, blade-singing dwarf.
His dance invokes thoughts of a fire licking the boots of people.
Of people? You're burning people now? What the fuck?
Like into peanut butter top toast.
You're doxing us.
Okay.
Great character.
Alright. Durrag.
Anyway,
I missed the fire bending part. What is that?
Apparently he's obsessed with fire. He wants
I'm not
to.
upset about fire.
Yeah.
Durrag sits down and he says, "Barkeep, one for me.
Oh.
And cheese for the little one.
Oh,
No, sorry. What do owls eat?
Uh,
And a snack for the little one."
not cheese.
A
Whatever.
rat?
Whatever.
Owl eating cheese.
And then I
Um,
look at the orc. I say, "His name's Tinder."
So there's a little owl perched on your shoulder. We'll only bring out the owl token when we need to bring out the owl token. That way we don't
Yeah,
have to
there's
move
no
around
need.
multiple tokens.
And I talk like this all the time.
Roll me an insight check on this orc that is in their cups.
All right. Hey, Jeremy, I found a reason to use my lowest proficiency or my lowest skill.
Is it insight?
It's one of the many lowest ones. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, sure. That absolutely counts.
How
Yeah.
funny would it be if none of us took insider perception this time?
Look, it'd be what it'd be.
I don't have either.
I have perception.
That's funny.
Anyway, I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah. This orc looks at Durrag. Their lip curls up, and you can see like this fang jutting out of their face, right? Durrag, they like you. They absolutely like you.
I say, "That's a nice fang. It looks effective."
The orc gets up and walks away. Walks around a corner and disappears.
I look at Tinder. I say, "This is your fault."
Wow.
The
Damn,
barkeep.
shaming the owl.
The barkeep walks over in response to your request for a... What did you ask for? A drink and a snack?
A drink and a snack, please.
Okay.
For the little one.
Walks over, puts a mug, a stein of ale in front of you, and just kind of grunts and says, 2 copper, and we don't have snacks.
There's a lot of muscle here to have no protein on the house or in the house.
Just sorts of shrugs at you.
All right, whatever. I pay the man. Hey, who was my friend there? I'd like to buy him a drink.
I don't get in people's business.
You don't know the names of the people that sit at your bar?
I don't know your name, and I don't want to. And he walks away.
All right, see you later.
See you later.
Tinder, that one wasn't your fault. That was mine.
Nice. All right. So while Durrag is during that, the rest of the party finds a table and starts to kind of like crowd around it. It looks like.
Yeah, we chilling.
Fantastic.
Wait,
You
did
guys
for
get a
drinks.
drink.
We did send
We
him
gotta
for
get,
drinks,
we gotta get some
right?
drinks. I
Yeah.
think he just walked off before we could have asked him to get
Yeah, I was
drinks.
gonna say, do we trust him to bring us drinks?
Well,
or do we
yeah.
just
Right.
nominate
Yeah,
somebody?
I will say, like, the concept of drinks came up. Durrag went to the bar. You see Durrag gets a drink, and then does not get any other drinks.
All right, I'll go get us some drinks.
Okay.
What do you guys want?
Just ale. I'm good with ale.
So, when I was living in the forest,
Oh
I
God,
would
here it
make
comes.
mead out of tree sap.
Oh no, he's Linsey splaining.
No, he's objectiving. That's what he's doing.
I don't feel like this is the kind of establishment that will have that.
I mean,
I'm going to get you an ale.
Will
okay.
they have some sarsaparilla?
I can ask.
That was not the right voice.
I'm very
Look,
look.
guys are
You
gonna
just
get
gotta
us
try
all
a couple and see how it
You just have
goes.
to workshop it.
Right?
Absolutely got to play with it till you find what you want,
Yep.
or do like what the super nerds do and like practice it in the mirror in the shower.
Or you do what I do, and I fail to do the same accent every single time.
Oh yeah, mine shifts constantly.
Constantly.
oh no, I'm
Oh,
basically
oh,
just
I don't know
doing
where that
crits
was.
again. It's fine.
It's just crits
Whatever.
again. Very
I
nice.
tell Artorias to stay, and then I head over to the bar.
And I yell after you, just ale for everybody. Don't ask for anything fancy.
I choose not to hear her as I walk away.
All right, guy, you approach the bartender looks at you, doesn't say anything, just acknowledges your presence by looking at you.
Greetings, barkeep. 3 of your finest ales, and 1 sarsaparilla.
I facepalm when I hear that.
Barkeep doesn't say anything, starts pouring drinks and putting them out in front of you. You see
Guy
1 ale.
attempts to like put
2
his
ales.
arm on the bar to like look casual, but
You
it's
could-
like so
you could-
high.
You can
You
hop
just
up on one of
stand on the
the stools and it'll get you up there.
He hops up on the stool, puts an arm, kind of leans.
Oh, yeah, easy peasy. You see 1 ale, 2 ales, 3 ales, and then the barkeep turns around, goes to the cabinet, and there's some little sort of like iron-looking box, and kind of like opens up the box and pulls out a glass container, walks over to you, and puts it down in front of you. It says 6 copper for the ale, 4 for the sarsaparilla.
Oh,
Wow.
Paper.
No, it's more expensive.
6 copper and 4 copper. Is that what you
Yep.
said?
So
Well,
uh,
I only have
so-
gold. Here you are, barkeep.
I
Keep this
only
shit.
have gold.
we all only have gold.
Say, what's
the-
inside that box? What else do you have?
Takes the gold, slides it across the counter. You see his hands go down, comes back up and slides 9 silver back across the bar at you.
9
I
silver?
slide
You're making change.
a silver back.
What is this game?
You buying something?
Mostly just looking for information.
Not that kind of bar.
Okay. I take the drinks and walk away.
Okay. All right. Durrag, you still just chilling at the bar? Oh, also, I'm sorry. Mitch, introduce who the fuck you are and what you are and your companion.
My character is Guillaume de Rouge Derval, the Auto-Gnome Artificer. He is a constructed gnome with the ability to artifice, who then created his best friend, Artorius.
And goes by...
Steel Defender Dog.
And goes by the name...
Guillaume goes by Guy. Or Night Guy, if you really want to be.
I love it, but I also hate it. Okay. Guy steps away for a few moments, comes back with 3 ales and a sarsaparilla.
They come in pints? Sorry.
Nope.
Sorry.
Unacceptable.
I slide over the ales and then slide over the sarsaparilla. That one was in a special box.
Oh.
Can I do an investigation check to see if that's actually sarsaparilla?
Sure. I would
I'm just
say
curious.
you could either investigate it or do something like a medicine check on it. Either or. A 12. It has a little like cork in it. You kind of have to like pop the cork and sniff it, but it looks and smells like sarsaparilla.
All right. I guess I owe you a copper because I didn't think they would have it. I toss a copper over.
We have copper?
I mean, you can feel free to make change for yourselves if you need to. Your characters, I gave you gold. Your characters do not have to have just gold.
I think I would like to check out one of those scrolls over near that burly man.
Fantastic. Cassandra, why don't you tell us who Dolly is and what she looks like while she stands up and walks across the room to take a look at one of these scrolls?
Well, Dolly is a moose barbarian.
I love that. I just love that you're a moose.
Moose barbarian who looks like Dolly Parton. Totally take my looks off of her. I got the skinny waist, the big boobs, the big hips,
the no organs,
the large rack.
The no organs.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pew, pew, pew,
And
pew,
it's
pew,
all
pew.
natural.
I fulfilled my joke objective.
Is that one
I
of
was
your
gonna say,
objectives? Yeah.
kill point for you.
This all comes natural. It's all natural. No surgery, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'll say this, Dolly, where are you from? What kind of like place is Dolly from?
I have no idea.
Tennessee.
Make something
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
A big
What?
forested place, whole bunch of
Oh.
trees, couple mountains in the
No,
background.
no. Up in those mountains, up in those hills.
Up in those hills,
With,
you
with
you
some
see
water.
on this scroll, you see a place that looks very reminiscent of your homeland.
Oh.
It might not be the exact same place, but it looks kind of like it, right? Like a very similar vista.
Mm. Where is their place?
It doesn't have a particular like name or any sort of plaque or anything like that. It's just the scroll hanging from the thing. But I will say, in theory, obviously you can change this if you want. But if you kind of like just ask that question out loud, the bouncer near you kind of like overhears you and pipes up and says, "That's in the foothills of Altoris, near the Briar Run Grove."
What?
Not necessarily a place you've ever heard of, but It
No.
looks like where you're from.
Have you ever been there?
He just kind of shakes his head at you.
I don't do head shakes. I need an answer verbally, please.
Nah.
Head shakes can be dangerous.
verbal.
Dolly.
Start knocking shit
Have
off.
you ever wanted to go there?
Knocks a person out.
I ain't much for traveling.
Oh. Okay. Well, sucks for you. Traveling's fun.
You see this man's face just like deeply forlorn, like this long 1,000-yard stare of the choices he's made in his life, where he really wishes that he'd made different choices so he could travel, but instead he's got like a family and 17 kids and like has to hold down a job so that he can feed them, and he's just like, yeah, traveling would be good.
Well,
Sucks for you.
have you been working here long?
About 6 years.
You are Southern.
6
There's
years
no
of
way you
this
have problem with accent.
this here bar.
Yep.
Any strange dealings around here?
All the time.
What kind of strange dealings?
He realizes he's a bouncer and he's been getting kind of chatty with you, so roll me a persuasion check.
How do I do that?
You open your character sheet,
Okay.
and then on
We're
the
gonna say it's a
left-hand
DC 10 because he wants to chat
So-
with someone.
side, yeah, find in that list persuasion. It's alphabetical, allegedly.
Okay,
And
persuasion.
then click it. There you go. You hit it.
A 10, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Una momento. Let me see. I'm pretty sure there is a... Music is not changing like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Which one is she next to? Is she next to the bald bouncer or the orc bouncer?
The ball bouncer over here.
All right.
Well, that was my assumption anyways.
Yes.
If that is not the
verbally.
bouncer you want to be next to, let me know.
No, that's the one.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, I'm clicking through things to try to find the correct thingamabobber. Oh, okay. Sharing information. All right. The bouncer proceeds to tell you about all manner of various kind of like strange oddities about, you know, fights which are nothing big, about crazy mad wizards that have teleported into the bar, about little mole creatures that have popped out outside of the bar, about how there's this kind of like weird, strange portal in the back of the bar that goes somewhere else. And as soon as he says that, right, he realizes he's probably said too much and he starts to get a little quiet on you.
Well, darling, why are you so quiet now? What? Can I hear some more about this portal, please?
He's a stiff upper lip kind of guy now. He takes a step away from you closer to the doors.
Why?
Nope.
Dolly chases him.
Wasn't something I said.
Nope.
I feel like I need to take a step closer.
He makes it very obvious that he realizes he is doing a bad job, and he now thinks you're trouble.
But I'm not trouble. I'm a nice little looking moose.
Your ass is about to get
Bavarian
bounced.
moose.
You're about to
Fine
get
then.
bounced.
Fine. I will go back to my table and I will share this information. I'm saying this all in my head. I promise
I
I'm not
was
yelling.
gonna
I
say
can't do that
that's
sometimes.
probably not what he wants to hear.
Dolly has a no internal monologue.
Oh, love it.
I'm good at yelling things and talking to myself, but I'm just gonna step away, go
Step
back to
away?
my table, and talk to my dear friends.
He just
Your
kind of,
sarsaparilla's getting warm.
he just kind of
Good, I
grunts
don't
at
like
you.
warm sarsaparilla.
Oh, I've been touched.
I
Well-
need to have some of that sarsaparilla.
While this is going on, I think let's kind of like pop over to our last character that has not been introduced. Jay,
Hey,
who the fuck is Linsey?
Linsey.
What
first
is
spirit.
Linsey, and why, or what is Linsey doing right now?
All right, so Linsey First Spirit is a halfling who, like, very quintessentially just grew up in the woods. Raggly beard, unkempt hair. Think like Radagast the Brown, except not as old, not as crazy, and less covered in shit.
I was gonna say less poop.
Yeah.
Just generally less
What
poop.
is a niche reference?
Nice.
And right now, he's sitting there nursing his drink, and he keeps looking over his shoulder. He leans in. Guys, does the barkeep look familiar to y'all? Doesn't he kind of match the description of
You were given a description of Dohma Raskovar prior to coming on this adventure, and sure enough, the barkeep does look like the description you were given.
You know,
Um,
now that you mention it, I think you're right.
maybe Durrag's plan wasn't so bad after all.
Speaking of which, Durrag, what the fuck are you doing? You're just sitting at the bar drinking?
Well, no.
He's on
I
beer
mean, I
number
was.
5, just getting shit
mean-
faced.
Dolly
Well.
has some information to share too.
Don't think a lot of drank.
That's
Oh, wait your turn.
If you take him out in real life, he can't have a turn. You then
True.
get all the turns.
Abuse. Oh my god. Okay, this is a tangent. Did you know that if a female says my boyfriend is abusing me to Google will offer to offer the number, but if a male
I've
says my
seen
girlfriend
that. I've seen
is
that.
abusing me, it says I don't understand what you're saying.
The
Like,
AI on it, yeah.
I've had it happen to me. It's nuts.
You okay,
Wait,
Zach?
hold on. Time out.
I was gonna say,
No, I'm
yeah,
not
you-
getting
are
abused.
you
but
okay,
I've said
Zach?
it- I've tried it to Google because I wanted to see what it would do because it offered
This
her
is
like,
his
options.
cry for help.
It offered her
Think twice
options,
if
but
you're okay, Zach.
it offered her options, but for me it said, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you. I was like, what? Okay, sorry. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, I mean after he walks off, I don't know who that guy was. I'm gonna turn around to these guys, I'll say, hey guys, can I buy you a drink? I'm new in these parts.
These two, lovingly titled Drunk and More Drunk are very deep in their cups. And you come up to their table and they're like, drink? Drink! And they just kind of like slosh beer in your or ale in your general direction.
I don't like that, but I resist the urge to set it on fire, and I walk away.
Oh, they're okay.
I say, barkeep. I'm a very important person, barkeep. No, I'm joking. I don't say that.
Walks
Barkeep,
over.
it's me.
Why have you turned into Trump? Why
Dolly's
have you
gonna
turned
say
into
same
Trump?
Look, you don't need to know the answer to the questions that you were asking.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Okay, so I now have a goal. I'm going to kill Durrag in this adventure so that Zach
No,
cannot
don't do
play
that. It's
anymore.
fucked up. Don't do that.
Like,
No, you should not do that to me.
what are you doing?
Barkeep, can I have 2 drinks to those 2 fine gentlemen over there?
Or
Those fine, God-fearing gentlemen.
pours 2 drinks,
Don't you know that water mills kill the fish?
4 copper.
I say thank you kindly. And I take him over there. I say, here you go. As promised. Thanks very much. Hey,
They both look at you, right? As if they have never seen you before in their life. But they see you have 2 more mugs of ale, and you put them down, and they're like, drinks! And they slosh more of their ale at you.
all right, have a good time, man. And I walk off. I walk off this way.
Hmm.
And I examine this wall scroll.
As you kind of like go past that little like crook, you do see leaning up against the wall, not looking drunk at all, is the orc that you had spoken to at the bar. And as soon as you kind of like cross that wall area, their eyes see you, track you, but they don't move. He ran away. Yeah. So
I don't look in his direction, but I cast, or I see through Tinder's eyes, and Tinder looks in his direction.
okay. He's keeping his eyes glued to you. Body posture isn't really changing or anything like that, but eyes are glued to you. And this orc is also does have armor on, but didn't have a weapon or anything like that with them at the bar. But as they're standing here at the back of this wall, they now are armed.
As I am Tinder, I look around. I see, I look to see if is there anything weird going on. Does any of these wall? I've got a suspicion here.
2 things.
Okay.
Roll me a perception check with Tinder, because you're using Tinder's perception for this, right?
No,
Or-
I think it's my perception, but I see out of his eyes.
Okay, gotcha. Then roll your perception and roll stealth for Tinder.
Stealth for Tinder.
I'm
That's
petting
an
him, but
owl?
he's down here and he refuses to get up. So,
Okay.
Owl-
Owl stealth is this button right here. That's a 9
the 9.
and a 11.
What's a
Um,
si-
You're
a
looking at this
9
wall scroll, and it looks like, again, some other vista, right? Like this one of kind of like this half craggy mountainside with some sort of like large stone castle or fortification kind of like built into the side of it. Something formidable but nondescript, not something that you're necessarily aware of. But while you're doing that, and also, right, like, you're looking through Tinder's eyes, and you see other wall scrolls, but you don't see anything on that 11. You don't see anything that kind of like clearly delineates or marks anything out as different. But as your owl is looking around, you see this orc's face staring at your owl and getting increasingly annoyed. And then start walking over towards you.
All right, cheese it. I've been had.
But do you just like walk away before they get to you?
No, okay, no, I don't do that. But I do break owl contact,
Oh, okay.
and I'm back in my cell. As he walks over, I say, "Well, fancy meeting you here."
If you're looking for the pisser, it's outside.
Well, I was just admiring this prime example of whatever is on this wall scroll.
Bar's back that way, and he kind of like hooks his thumb back towards the bar.
Oh, you have all this art that we can't enjoy. Is that how a nice and hospitable person would be?
Are you an art appreciator?
I'm an appreciator of many things.
Roll me a deception check.
Ooh.
All right. I would like to use my lean token to give myself advantage.
Okay, there we go. So Durrag gained a lean token from leaning into a bad skill for himself previously, and now he can use that to give him advantage on a skill that he is not proficient in. So that 8 turns into a 12, which is enough for this
All my
orc.
objectives are fight based.
Are they all fight based? Well, they'll
Wow.
happen eventually, I'm sure, right? This orc, a 12 is enough for this orc to look at you and just be kind of like, not like you, but not be sure that you aren't just some asshole that he doesn't like, right?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's exactly where I thrive. Right, in that gray area.
So he's just kind of like, don't make trouble.
You got it. No trouble for me.
He hitches his head back towards the bar.
Alrighty, well, this is a weird little alcove you have here. I'll see you later. And I leave.
As soon as you kind of like walk away, he gets out of eye shot, but you know he's there. Durrag returns to the bar. Just,
Hey,
I
buddy.
think, as Dolly is filling the party in on the little tidbit of information that she got from the bouncer, from kind of cozying up to the bouncer.
Y'all, did you know that there's been a portal sighting here? Like, I don't know what to do about that. A portal sighting?
Where? I start looking around
That's-
for a portal.
I look around. Are we attracting attention?
Roll me a perception check, Keith. And if someone is in response to Dolly's kind of words, kind of like looking around for a portal, like it kind of seemed like you were, Linsey, you could also roll me a perception check.
I proceed.
You perceive.
I guide myself.
You guide yourself. Lily, on a 13, the bouncers do seem to be paying attention to you, right? But they also seem to be paying attention to everyone in here. It's possible that they're paying a little bit more attention to you all because you're new and less drunk than the rest of the other people here. But it could be something else.
18.
I will say on an 18, Linsey, you look around after Dolly makes this comment about, like a portal being somewhere or something like that, right? And there doesn't look to be like any place that would really hide such a thing except for a wall scroll.
Do any of those wall scrolls look like they move? Like the area around them's scuffed?
There's a lot of scuffing on the walls in this whole place because there's a lot of like random fights and things like that. So you would need something a little more specific, like an actual detailed investigation or something like that to actually...
Or like a random fight.
Or a random fight.
Do you have an idea?
I was just gonna ask Durrag if
You're gonna ask Durrag. My name's Durrag.
Durrag.
No, it's Durrag. It's
Dude,
insulting.
don't. I have an accent.
You can't make fun of my accent.
I'm not making fun of you. That's insulting.
Durrag.
No,
Durrag?
I'm gonna start a fight with Dolly right now.
Okay, Durrag.
Yeah, I
Durrag.
checked with the barkeep.
The fight happens. Okay,
I
guy
checked with
goes
the
to
barkeep, and I was informed that they do not have information.
Is guy just a super straight? Like no like interpretation, no like insinuation or anything, like just a straight man?
He is right now.
Oh, okay.
He's still learning.
Do we
Fair
know
Yeah.
what the Ivory Throne is? The Ivory Throne like completely underground, or is there like a surface building or like some kind of like iconography that identifies the Ivory Throne?
You're in it. This bar, to the people who know the Ivory Throne and know what it is, this bar is that place. But to everyone else, it's just a bar.
Okay, stupid question.
Sure.
Do any of the scrolls are they of this bar?
You look around, none of them are of this bar. None of the ones
Okay.
you can see in here anyways.
I was
But
gonna
as
say,
Durrag comes back and kind of like shares his little adventure, right? Like, you know there is a little cubby hole with other scrolls.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, there's a guy just hanging out back there.
I was gonna ask you, Durrag.
It's not my name. Don't call me that. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just
No,
like, hanging out.
this is a funny bit and all, but you keep talking like that, your throat's gonna be fucked tomorrow.
It's gonna be fucked tomorrow. I love it.
Durrag,
What?
did you see any other scrolls when you were over there?
There are many scrolls
Why didn't you go look at the other one?
because there's an angry man back there.
Do you think an angry man can be persuaded by a lovely woman?
Oh, most certainly. You should go try.
I can't tell if that's like actual Durrag or if that's just Zach like throwing Cassandra to the wolves. Right?
No, I think he would really appreciate some feminine attention.
Look, you never know. It's up to you guys.
I'm pretty sure y'all are gonna get us killed.
No, it's fine. Probably.
What would everyone like to do? We've all kind of like been talking and doing a couple of like individual things. If you all want to like start doing stuff at the same time, you can, or if you want to send, maybe Dolly can succeed on this kind of like solo seduction mission or something like that. Y'all's choice is up to you. What do you want to do?
Go seduce him.
We could always order the boiling oil.
That is also an option on the table.
We could always what?
So you were
We were
told
informed that if we order a boiling oil at the bar, we may be able to get the attention of Dohma.
All right, so before we do
Well,
anything,
that
right?
makes sense if he's the guy, right? Because we already know that he looks like the guy.
Before we do anything
Does look
rash,
like
like I already know, like these two guys are looking drunk. Like, what about the other baldies? Are they all looking drunk, or are they looking like, or do they share any kind of like iconography or like
the
uniform?
vast
or,
majority of the individuals in here, except for the ones that I specifically pointed out to you, all look like patrons of various intoxication.
All right, so is the Ivory Throne an orc-based outfit?
It is primarily orc-based. It's not entirely orc-based, but it is primarily orc-based, yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, guys, I like my odds here. Let's set the bitch on fire.
I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe we should order that soup.
I thought you were gonna go and have sex with that orc.
What?
What? We talk about things openly in this group?
That wasn't the idea.
He looked like he would appreciate a strong woman. Someone that could, lift him above their heads and spin him around a little bit.
Spin him around a little bit?
Yeah.
Christ.
Also, he's armed.
Well, now you just make.
Just so you know.
Did you say also
No.
he's armed?
Yeah, he's armed.
Yeah, okay.
He's armed, but he didn't look particularly dangerous. He's just armed.
Okay, let's refocus. Not on the fire thing.
The flower thing?
Fire.
Oh, the fire. Okay, yeah.
The fire.
Sure.
Not to be compared with. Not to be confused with the fire.
What fair?
How'd you get that? Anyway,
The Ren,
Anyway.
the Ren fair?
stop.
Okay.
What do we want to do? It may not sound like I'm whispering, but I
Oh
promise
yeah,
I am.
always assumed that the party is doing stage whispers, basically. Which is kind of easy because you're in a very loud, raucous bar. Like, the other people around here are not whispering. They're yelling, shouting over at other tables, etc., etc. So it's very easy for you all to have a quiet, not necessarily suspicious conversation.
I also think if we start walking like we're drunk, it might fit in better.
Look, I'll let you guys know. I performed an ocular pat down, and I really think there's only about 3, maybe 5 enforcers in here total.
Is Durrag voting for just kicking off a fight?
No, I'm just saying, if things happen, I've done a threat assessment, and I don't think there is a threat right here immediately.
Well, I think you're right. We could win. that may not be the best way to get deeper into the area. If
No,
we have
probably
to fight
not.
the whole way.
Anyway, Dolly, I think you should go and seduce that person.
Okay, fine then. I will go over.
Dolly,
my-
before you do that,
Okay.
know that
listen,
you're not obligated to sleep with the man.
No, you don't have to sleep with them.
I don't plan on it.
Don't plan
Not
on
gonna
it.
do it. I'm not drunk enough.
But you don't plan on it, but it could happen though. What?
Okay. I'm gonna go
Okay.
drunkenly walk over.
Sure. Like, Dolly is making a play of just being kind of like a little tipsy, that kind of like scenario. Looking
Yes, she
around the
has to be.
bar, walking
I
around.
pressure and cast guidance.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Hey.
So Dolly gets a 1d4 on her next skill check within the next minute. So Dolly,
Okay.
you are heading over to the direction that Durrag came from with the idea that you're going to kind of like snoop around, right?
Yes.
I'll take
And
that
if
share.
need be, try to kind of like charm anyone that like comes at you.
Did we ever consider maybe like, I mean, if that's the guy, right? If that's
Yes,
that's
the idea of just ordering a boiling oil is on the table. And
We're
might
working up to it.
yeah,
might
like,
be
what
the
if we
next
just, like
step.
asked to join the Ivory Tower.
so. While
want
that
uppy?
discussion is
That's what I
being
was thinking.
while that
Yeah.
discussion is being had, Dolly, you round the kind of like the wall that's split off this little section. Kind of like, swaying a little bit, doing the kind of like, oh, I've had a little too much to drink, maybe kind of like facade. Looking at the scrolls on the wall, seeing the various vistas, and as soon as you round the wall, you see this orc who's leaning up against the wall, head whips over, right? And immediately like has these narrowed eyes, like already annoyed, sees you, and expression changes slightly and goes from being annoyed to being like, can I help you?
I would appreciate a strong woman.
Well, howdy there. What brings you to this side of the bar, sir?
Good dorms.
I just got too noisy and annoying over there.
Are you admiring this here scroll? Can you tell me about this here scroll or any of the scrolls that are in this corner of the building?
Ooh, that might be pressuring a little much. Roll me a persuasion check, Dolly. DC 10.
You
Hold
go to
on to that.
the same way you did the other skill check.
Okay. That one?
Yeah, and you have my guidance, so you get to roll a 1d4 as well.
Ooh,
I don't know what that
don't
That
need
means
it
you-
unless you want to use it.
It's up to you.
Should I?
I don't know. Why not?
Okay, how do I do that?
Well, no. I mean, when
No.
you type in the box /r space.
Is there a thing I can do instead of typing?
Yes,
you can
up
click
on the left
dice
side.
over here.
You can click the
Yeah,
dice, and then you can click the
D4.
little D4 icon.
There you go. 21.
Boom! 21.
21.
Your
Oh,
come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
this orc is narrowing his gaze suspiciously at you as you kind of like ask about these scrolls. And then he just melts like putty in your hand. What does Dolly do or say to just make this guy suddenly be like, I'm not gonna question this lovely lady who's just admiring artwork? It doesn't have to be anything explicit. We can all just imagine. Like, you don't have to say or do anything. It's perfectly fine. But
Dolly, I adjust my rack.
just the upper rack, right? And this orc is just like fascinated by Dolly's antlers, right? Just like suddenly smitten and starts to stumble over his words to, as best as he can, comply with your request and start describing what he knows about these various scrolls. And for the most part, as Dolly's kind of like listening to this guy, it's not a lot, right? Like, he's basically just kind of like making it up as he goes. It's pretty obvious that he doesn't give a shit about these scrolls for the most part, until he gets to the one at the very south end of this hallway, where he starts to kind of stumble. And you see this scroll is a big piece of artwork of a it is of a red striped orc, right? This big burly orc with red stripes, right? Facing off, like solo, facing off against this army of faceless knights, right? And there's such a commanding presence about it that it doesn't look like a suicide mission. It looks like this champion of orcish might, right? Like standing against, like, it's almost kind of like that Darth Vader meme of the comic picture where it's like, all I see around me are dead men, right? Like that kind of scenario, right? Like, this painting exhibits this kind of like feeling that this orc is not worried in any way, shape, form, or fashion. He gets to that scroll and he's just like, this is the
portal scroll.
And he hesitates as if he's about to just say something, and realizes he can't say that, and then says, "This is a artistic," and everything else that he says after that, is just bullshit, right? Like, he's just pulling something out of his ass to say that it's a really cool painting of some orcish thing, and you have every reason to believe after the kind of like do-around that if there is a portal behind the scrolls, this is the one.
So, like, even if we know where the portal is, we're in a bar full of people. Like, there's no discreetly going around this corner and then not coming back out.
Yeah. Dolly, do you
Perhaps
after
we
this
try
kind of like
to say
exchange
that we're
head
looking
back
for
to the
work?
party, like excuse yourself from this fine gentleman and head back to the party, or do you try to do anything else?
Shall we order the boiling oil?
I feel like I need to, and you let him know that I need to go to the bath, and then I'll be right back.
He seems. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I'll be here.
And then he winks.
Right? I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
I'll be right back.
Okay, Dolly.
Lily,
can
are the hockey sticks behind
head
you
off to where
slanted?
she wants to do.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
you-
sorry.
It's been driving me
Continue.
nuts because I thought
No,
your
no.
camera was like this the whole time. Okay. That makes a lot more sense to my brain now.
There we go. There we go. Yes. Yes.
They're
That
out of
absolutely makes more sense. Okay, Dolly, I'm going to say you head back to the party with the information that you have discovered. You find the party discussing their options, chatting about whether or not you all just want to order the boiling oil and see how that goes.
Boil some boil.
Oiling the bordering something. Anyways, party's reconvened. What would people like to do?
Well, it seems like we know where the portal is, or the way to. I don't know why we have decided it's a portal, but we know the way to get down is likely in that corner. But without fighting, I feel like we need to order the boiling oil.
I think I agree. I'm kind of exhausted with all this flirtatious.
Well, would someone else like to order, or should I?
Well, we know last time that Durrag did not work out with that bartender.
I'm gonna coach you.
Veto Durrag. Lily, you were saying something?
I said I'd do it.
Okay. Lily or
Good luck,
Keith heads up to
Good
the
luck,
bar.
Keith.
See you
Listen,
later, Keith.
listen.
Order the boiling oil.
I know Durrag really sucked at this, but I believe that you have way more charisma than he does. And if you don't, here, and I'll give her guidance again. And that was a pep talk, I would like to say.
Okay.
Maybe.
Wait, what's the pep
Afterwards,
talk?
I kind of pat Lindsay on the
What's
shoulder.
the pep talk's secondary effect?
The target gains a 1d4.
The target
They can
gains a
roll at any
1d4.
time.
So Keith not only gets the 1d4 from guidance, but also gets a 1d4 inspiration from the pep talk, which stays. There's no time limit on the inspiration. It's just you can only have one at a time. So it's kind of like a use it or lose it kind of situation. But you have 2d4 that you can use at this point. So Keith heads to the bar to do what?
Guy real quick leans over and pats Lindsay on the shoulder. Lindsay, you should try not to put others down with your pep talk.
Well, I didn't put her down. Put
I
Durrag
look
down.
over at Durrag.
That's right. I just want everyone to know that I've, I've had this voice since I was 10 years old. And,
After I set a person on fire and breathed
you know,
in the smoke of their body.
They say that it happened after an issue with a large oak tree and some smoke inhalation.
Is that a roleplay moment
I
for
hate it.
Durrag?
I cannot wait until Jeremy kills this character.
Why?
I'll accept the voice as long as he's not doing like actual Trumpisms. If he does, then I'm definitely gonna kill him.
Look, I don't watch that man enough to know any except for when he talks like this.
And that
You
is
need to
close
start
enough.
Doing
You're
this when
getting
you talk.
real close to Boulder area. Keith, you approach the bar, and what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna approach the bar and just kind of like put my hands on top of it and just look around and see if he approaches me.
Yeah. A moment after you approach the barkeep walks over.
Like frozen. What am I supposed to order again? Just off like out of character. Boiling water or boiling oil?
Boiling
Yeah.
oil. A boiling oil.
Well,
All right, so Keith will look up at the barkeep and just say, I have been told that I should order the boiling oil here. See what he says.
You see the barkeep kind of like raises an eyebrow at you, like high arch raises an eyebrow at you, shrugs and says, "All right, your drink will be brought to your table in a moment."
Does he seem pissed off?
Roll me an insight check. 21! Natural
Wow.
20!
Pretty
No. This
It's on your
individual does not seem pissed off. This individual seems intrigued. This individual has clocked your party, and as you have previously kind of like assumed, is the Dohma Raskovar, head of the Ivory Throne, and now this guy is like, okay, they finally ordered what I assumed they were going to order. We'll go have a talk, right? But rather than just kind of like jumping into it, he's playing it cool. He's like, your drink will be brought to your table in a moment.
Okay. So I'll come back and I'll share that
Okay,
gut feeling,
sure.
the insight that I have.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey guys,
Say
what are we
I
gonna have
say that
for?
we should prepare for.
Membership.
While you all start talking about this, you see
Maybe let's start with asking for work.
you see Dohma Raskovar leaves the bar and heads past that wall out of eyeshot while you all are kicking up this conversation.
Or didn't they say something about contracts? What do you think those contracts could be? Perhaps we bring up creating a contract?
So, two things I will say for clarity, because your characters would know. So I'm going to tell you. The contracts that were mentioned previously are the contracts for membership into the Ivory Throne. Every member of the Ivory Throne has a contract binding them to the Ivory Throne for some period of time. That's how you know about contracts. But the other things that you were told about from the Ivory Throne is that concept that they take on jobs, right? Like arsons, assassinations, thievery,
You really
those
should have
types of
started
things,
with that one.
right? Like they
Arsons, you say.
yeah, probably should have said arson, but they are doing a lot of these less mercenary work oriented jobs these days. So people who come here and they ask for a boiling oil will get an audience with the Dohma to ask for whatever or talk about whatever, but your choice of how you want to approach it is up to you.
I kind of like the, hey, our group's fallen on hard times, membership seems like, can we make some money? What do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that happens,
I mean,
right? We get taken in their base
as
and we
good
just
as
start
reason
killing
as
them.
any.
Okay, so is that what the group wants to try to do? You're muted, Mitch, if you're talking to us.
I said, that sounds good to me. We could also tell them Artorias needs new gears.
New gears.
We've got to save the puppy.
Okay.
And if all else fails,
or
I'll
pet the dog.
offer an assassination to my political opponent.
Does it have to do with arson?
The assassination of your political opponent.
No, I can do arson.
I
Well-
asked if it had to do with arson.
It doesn't have to do with arson.
I mean, it could be arson if they assassinate your political opponent by burning their
No,
house
it
down.
can't be arson. Arson is my signature. They would know.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I mean,
Gotcha.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I wouldn't. Note to self: Durrag is known for arson. Gotcha. You see a little bit later, after the Dohma disappears, Durrag and Dolly, that orc that had been behind the wall, comes out and goes behind the bar to kind of like man the bar. And then, a few moments later, the Dohma Raskovar crosses the bar towards you all, and steps up to your crowded table.
Is it the same guy?
Same person, yeah, absolutely.
Here, I'll make him a hole.
Specifically, you see this person.
Wow, that's he's pretty sweet. That's a nice cod piece.
I was about to say it's a nice cod piece.
A nice codpiece. The Dohma approaches your table with a tankard, right? And quietly says, "Someone ordered a boiling oil."
I point at Keith.
It was
I
that
did.
one.
I raised my hand. I did.
Puts the tankard on the table, slides it towards you, and you see it's empty, right? Like there's nothing in the tankard. And says, "Boiling oil comes with a conversation. My ears are open."
So let's talk.
Go ahead.
Shit, I don't know what to say.
And he says that to the table, right? It doesn't just have to be Keith, right? Like he acknowledges that you all are clearly together.
So as you can see, we're clearly together.
It's kind of nods at Linsey. Like,
I'm
yeah.
like looking straight up at him, like. So, look, we're kind of in the need for some work, and we were directed that this might be a good place to
I'll pick just the back.
find that.
Eyes you and says, "Directed by who?"
Mostly society.
What does that mean?
You know, The hills have eyes and ears and such.
Is that code for you're not going to give up your sources?
Correct. That we were trusted not to just start blabbing everything we know about everyone.
Everyone can roll me an insight check.
Got me too.
Yeah, everyone can roll me an insight check.
Blammo.
Insight. That
Damn.
second crit.
Second grid. A 21
That is a
and two
lot of
19s.
19s.
Very nice.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have advantage. 10.
Oh, you would have advantage?
No, I would not. 10.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So a 21, a 19, and a 19. Not your
Oh, yeah,
19, but yeah. Linsey and Dolly's 19, and then our Guy's 21.
I like to think that whenever Guy does well at insight, it's because Artorias notices something and nudges him.
Nudges him. I like that. I want to know what's the reason for Keith's 3.
So when I clicked it, it looked like the dice came back and knocked itself over.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was just random.
Oh, okay. So not a Keith moment. That was just a random world moment. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna treat this like a collective, right? Like we were rolling as a group. This is kind of like a collective group scenario. You realize as you're speaking to Dohma Raskovar, and you know, you kind of like say the scenario of we were told to come ask, and Raskovar says basically by who, and you give this non-committal answer and then say that you're not going to give an answer. That is the right answer. Dohma Raskovar looks at you and kind of nods and
I was this
doesn't-
close to blurting out a name.
doesn't say anything, but you all kind of get this impression, right? Like that is what Dohma Raskovar would want members to do. Not give up sources. Not, right, like turn at the slightest fucking question from anyone. Because if they would do that, then they're not trustworthy and they're not worthy of being members of the Ivory Throne. Right? So
Bitches get stitches.
So Dohma Raskovar kind of like, exactly, right? Like Stitches, you know. So Dohma Raskovar kind of like takes a long moment and then kind of like makes this nodding motion with his head and says, ranks are pretty full at the moment. I need a reason to bring on new hands.
I jump up on my stool and drain my tankard.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. How would you like to play this? Are you trying to intimidate him with your, you know, your
Nope.
ferocity, or do you
taking it at literal?
or do you
like
want to
it's
just
a literal-
like do you want to roll a Constitution saving throw for
Oh
this?
yeah,
How
give
do you
me-
want to
give
go
me-
about
let
this?
me fail a Constitution saving throw.
Look, it's up to you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
Okay.
go ahead and get this one out of the
Lindsay,
way.
roll me a Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
An
I mean,
8. Lindsay
So low.
tries to drain. Gloop, gloop, gloop. It slows down. The cup tips. Breathe. Gloop, gloop. Gloop, gloop, gloop. And it's not even halfway through the tankard. Dohma Raskovar puts his hand on the tankard, pushes it down back onto the
bitch.
table. What are you doing?
That was a really good attempt, Lindsay.
Thanks.
If I
Sorry.
was looking for people who could just drain a cup, this bar's already filled with them.
Hey, look. We have a certain amount of experiences that are
I am a construct
Detective.
capable of crafting magical items. I think I could be a true delight to your
Damn.
company.
Wow.
Dohma Raskovar rolls a 9 on his insight check against Durrag. And then
Keith would take a different approach.
Say what?
Keith would take a different approach.
Okay. So,
She'd-
Guy does pipe up with this kind of like concept of, oh, I can do these things, and then Keith jumps in with,
Keith would fold her arms in front of her and say, if the money's not good enough, you don't need my expertise.
ooh, playing kind of like
Playing hardball.
highball over there,
That's
right?
right.
Like this kind of concept of like, okay. I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say this happens pretty much at the same time. Guy can roll me a persuasion or maybe a performance check. And then I would say Keith could roll me Guy, if you have like Tinkerer's tools or something like that, you could flourish them as you're like saying something and maybe make a display with them, right? And then Keith, I would say yours is kind of like a more haughty, almost kind of like aloof approach. So I would say you could do persuasion, performance, or intimidation.
Yeah, I could use Tinker. Well, I already rolled, so we'll just keep what I rolled.
Okay, 2 14s, right? Like, Dohma Raskovar looks at you two and isn't like blown out of the water, but is not unimpressed, right? Like, he says, you all look like the sort that can deal with a task. But, like I said, we're a little full up at the moment. I need something a bit more concrete.
You mean like proof?
Dolly,
Proof would
show me your
suffice.
bag full of spiders.
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
And I can tame the spiders? Yeah.
Dolly, summon the spiders.
Dohma basically puts out this concept of like needs something else, right? Like Keith kind of like throws out this proof, right? And Dohma kind of shrugs as if like that would suffice, right? Like proof of you're tough enough kind of like concept would suffice. Or
trophy?
there could be something else, right? Like
Bar fight!
Dohma is leaving it open.
I say we start a bar fight.
Did Dolly just yell bar fight?
All right.
Yeah?
Dolly just stands up and throws it over the table.
Alright, guess we're fighting.
Okay. Let's do this. I want everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative.
I knew it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I love it. What are you talking about?
Don't leave me. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm stuck.
There's this.
I'm stuck. Hold on. Now what do I do?
You click third person and then you bring up your character sheet.
For the record, Artorias cannot be surprised. He saw that
Click
table
on
flip
initiative.
coming.
No one is surprised here. Like this is all kind of like a building moment. No one is surprised. Well, I say that the other bar patrons are somewhat surprised, but no one else is surprised.
I'm a barbarian. Gotta start a fight somewhere.
All right. As soon as Dolly kind of like just stands up and yells bar fight and flips the fucking table, right? Like Dohma just kind of like smiles. The Dohma Raskovar just kind of smiles and steps out of the way, right? Like hands up of like, show me what you got, right? But I'm not involved kind of like situation. And immediately the words bar fight get yelled and people start punching each other, right? Like random patrons nowhere near you
Punching their
all
best friend.
start punching their best friends. But it's not
Immediately turns into a Waffle
it's
House.
not them you have to worry about, because as soon as Dolly yells bar fight and Dohma Raskovar steps away, the Dohma's eyes look to the two bouncers and then to the orc that is now behind the bar, and it's understood that they're going to come deal with the issue, right? So
Right.
they are your opponents. So the
Okay.
Dohma Raskovar steps away, and then it is the other 3 that are going to be a part of this combat. So you guys should see this guy more in full. Boom. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that mean mug.
Look at him.
That
Really?
Dolly
We didn't notice the big ass tattoo?
chatted up. What are you talking
So
about?
it's a brand.
He's doing the standard football player hold.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's also these guys.
He's standing on lava.
Well,
They don't
okay,
do
ignore the
that.
lava. Obviously, it's
That's
not lava
badass.
here.
What the fuck?
He fucking just cruises around on a lava cloud.
Jeez.
Yes, he's Goku with a lava cloud.
He
Absolutely.
looks like Orc
That's
Hercules.
sick as hell.
It is pretty fucking sick, isn't it? Okay.
Also, he got the fucking Princess Mononoke arm. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is that everyone? Keith, Guy, Linsey, Dolly, Durrag. Yep.
He does have like.
Oh, I
Should've
forgot
rolled
Artorias.
Owl, but
Doesn't Artorias
Whatever.
just go directly after you?
Yeah, he does, but he needs to be on there. So
Oh,
you can
okay.
put him on the thing.
Not a problem.
I
I'm
couldn't
gonna
roll for
set
Tinder.
him.
I don't have Tinder.
Do you want Tinder out?
I mean, he's on my shoulder, bro.
Okay. Boom, there's Tinder. You can put him in the thing adjacent to you unless you need him in a specific place.
That's fine with me.
Okay, fantabulous. Ascending. Woo! All right, top of the initiative order, right? Like, you all kind of like start off this conversation. You basically get told, you know, if you're gonna be a part of the team, I've got to see what you can do, or something else. You pick the fine, we'll show you what we can do scenario. Dolly starts a bar fight. Everyone in the bar is just now punching each other, throwing chairs, throwing tankards. But no one is coming after you except for these bouncers. And it starts with
I love
this
fun.
orc rampart is going to vault over the table. So that'll use 10 and then 5, or the counter, 10 and then 5. And then closes with Dolly, who just flipped the fucking table and immediately is like, hey, settle down. Oh, it's you. And
Uh-oh.
so this previously enamored orc is going to make some attacks against Dolly in order to settle her down, but he's going to do so at disadvantage because of her prior successful charming of him. So he is going to take his spear, reverse it, and kind of like slam you with the butt of the spear, kind of like at your legs, trying to like get you to like, you know, maybe like go to a knee and kind of like chill the fuck out type situation. So he will do so. So that is going to be a 7.
Wow.
And now I'm
Two
going to
enamored.
introduce something that Cassandra obviously won't know because she's new to D&D, and Lily might not know. When we roll natural ones around here, we like to do a thing called confirming the critical failure. So we will roll another D20, and if it is a 5 or lower, something bad happens off of that natural 1, right? Not generally super bad, but maybe you lose a weapon, or maybe an enemy gets a free attack on you, or shoves you, or knocks you around, or something like that. It depends on the situation. But
Your head
it also
explodes, you know.
it also applies to enemies. So this orc rampart critically fails, and he super critically fails, right? Like he's so hesitant to try to hit Dolly because he maybe kind of likes her or is interested in her, and he goes and closes his eyes at the last minute as he tries to hit you with the back of the knee, completely misses, and hits it in such a way that hits the floor of the tavern. And whether Dolly does this intentionally or not, I leave that up to her, but just by moving around in her space, her hoof Wait, does Dolly have hooves or does she have just regular feet?
Do you
Dolly's
have
have
human
hooves.
feet?
She has hooves, so her hoof comes down and just snaps the spear in half, and this orc no longer has a spear.
Damn, he's spearless.
For you, bitch.
And that is now his fucking turn. He's done. And now it's Artorias and Guy.
All right. I pull my sword out from its sheath and approach this man. However, I flip it to use the flat of the blade, so I'm not murdering someone in this bar.
He sees you coming at him with a sword, and he's just got fists out, and he's looking at that sword, and you can see he's covered in scars.
Actually, you know what? What I'm
Right?
actually going to do is I'm going to pull up my sword in its scabbard. I'm going to beat him with the scabbard and blade.
Either way, he looks at your sword as you kind of like have it, and he's like, oh, it's another night where I'm going to have to stitch myself up. And then you don't unsheath the sword, and he's just like, he nods in this kind of like, thanks kind of like manner, but he's still going to punch your head in, you know?
Excellent. I walk up to him and I swing. Probably not too well.
14 hits. This guy is not armored. He's a big guy. He's just kind of like standing there. 14 just hits.
Bop.
Bop. Bops for 6
I clunk him in
damage.
the kneecap.
Clunk him in the fucking kneecap. Where's this guy's... What? What happened? Oh, there it is. I moved the character sheets around. Yeah, he gets hit by that.
And then
takes
Artorias
some damage.
howls and launches himself towards this guy as well.
Oh, shit.
And
Yeah, he actually
Artorias
says
is a
that,
little
right? Like, he
scary.
gets hit by your sword, and he's like, cool, not the blade. And then this mechanical fucking dog comes flying at him, and he goes, oh, shit!
Wow.
Roar.
Oh, yeah, 18 will hit.
4 more force damage.
4 more force damage, fuck yeah. So I imagine Artorias kind of does the, like, police dog, right? Like, grabs the arm and,
yeah.
you know, kind of like situation. Okay, anything else for Guy and Artorias?
Engaging fear protocols.
Verticals?
Keith, you're up.
Protocol.
Bar fight has begun. You've initiated this conversation with Dohma Raskovar, and your team chose prove yourselves. So now you're in a bar fight to prove yourselves. What would you like to do? That's you, Lily. Whoa.
I guess so. I'm struggling.
No worries.
I will hop up on the table.
Hop up. Oh yeah. Poof. Up onto the table.
Yeah, we're gonna hop up on the
Vantage
table.
point.
And I'm gonna shoot at him, but I'm gonna shoot to like be as close to hitting him as possible without actually injuring him.
Okay. So like hitting like a piece of his armor that you know isn't gonna like penetrate or anything, but like sending the message of I could hit you and hurt you if I wanted to.
That's right.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Let's go.
God damn.
Natural 20 will do it.
Unstoppable tonight.
Absolutely.
Get his foot to the floor.
All right. I will say
It's the table.
you can hit anywhere on Dohma with a natural 20. You hit wherever you want to hit on Dohma Raskovar. Whatever message you want to send. If you want to do damage, if you don't want to do damage, that is all up to Keith at this moment. This is a ace in the hole.
He has a lot of piercings, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Ooh.
Big dangling earrings, a few like minor lip piercings, a couple of like piercings up the side of his neck as well, right?
What's wrong with him?
So is any of them a hoop?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna send an arrow through one of his piercing hoops.
Hell yeah.
I would like you to
Style.
make an intimidation check with advantage as well.
Not very intimidating. We'll see.
That's fine. Ooh, a 5. Okay. So, you do the Robin Hood splitting the bullseye with another arrow, right? Like kind of concept. And Dohma Raskovar witnesses it, right? Like understands, right? Like you get up on the table, you survey the situation, you look, and you kind of like call your shot. There's this moment where both your eyes meet, and Dohma Raskovar is like, wait, why are you shooting at me? You're supposed to be like, what? And then the arrow woof, through the ear, and the Dohma kind of like turns as the arrow goes past and thunks into one of the stools at the bar, right? Looks at you like for a moment of like, wait, was that on purpose? Sees in your eyes that was on purpose. And there is a moment where Keith has this kind of like opportunity to really kind of like overachieve and like potentially strike fear into and then there's a little bit of ale on the table, and it's just like she doesn't like fall off the table, she just goes like looks, has this moment, and then kind of like whoop whoop, and has to like catch herself, right? Like kind of situation. And so that intimidation moment is gone, but the expertise is absolutely noticed and accepted. That's going to lower the threshold of what Dohma Raskovar feels is proof. Okay? Linsey, you're up. And I will say, if you had hit above a 20 on that intimidation, Dohma Raskovar would have called the whole fight right there.
Shit.
Would have just been like, never mind, we're good.
All right. Linsey will run just under the table because he's short enough to do so.
Under the table.
And trying to get over here, kind of somewhat out of the way. And once he's out of the way, he kind of slow breathes out, and all the color and then the opacity in his skin and clothes just drops, and he turns into a kind of like a starry kind of like constellation looking thing, and he takes on his starry form of Chalice.
Oh shit!
As an action.
Jay, we're gonna have to make a second token for you so we can change that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. But so that just takes an action and one of my charges of Wild Shape.
Well, it takes a bonus action.
Get out.
Yep. Oh, that's a bonus action. I still got an action.
It's a bonus action, absolutely. Ooh. So now that you're in your starry form, you can use any action, or you can use one of your starry form things.
Yep. But for now, since I still have an action, yeah. Okay. I will look at the one orc that hasn't had any attention given to him yet, and I will hurl a frostbite bolt at him, or frostbite. Why did I go to fucking card? I didn't change that.
Can't believe you've done this.
That's enough.
I'm messing with music. You're frostbiting?
That's because I know what it is. I clicked on the...
Where's his shirt?
I need
frostbiting.
To go
I don't think I took
here.
it off.
Who are you frostbiting?
This guy.
Okay.
Does a 24 hit.
24 absolutely hits. My God.
Right?
Now, these orc ramparts are relatively heavily armored. They do have shields. They do have scale armor on, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, DC 24 Constitution saving throw.
A 24 hits, so you do the damage, period, right? Okay,
and now it's a 14 con save.
No, never mind. Sorry, that doesn't have an attack roll at all. The 24 does nothing. Sorry, okay, it's just a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. So let me roll that real quick.
Off the attack, yeah.
Rolls a 5, fails.
Okay, so he takes 2 damage and is going to attack at disadvantage once he decides to do so.
Okay.
And that will be in turn.
Owl and Durrag.
All right, Al perched on Dorag's shoulder.
Fuck yeah.
Together, we roll forward. Cha-cha!
Ta-cha!
We initiate the stabbing. Al screeches in his face. Rah!
Rah! Giving the help action.
Giving the help action. Durrag casts the spell, the Booming Blade,
The Booming Blade.
making a rapier attack at advantage. A 22.
The
22
blade
probably
that
hits.
booms.
That's 11 damage. And then Durrag is very mobile. He goes, ha ha, and runs off.
Ha ha! Runs
Oh,
off.
no.
Absolutely
With
wonderful. And your owl has flyby as well, which frees them from the situation along with you.
That's right.
11. Very cool. And also has the booming blade effect on them as
Yeah.
well,
He
correct?
willingly moves. He takes thunder damage.
Willingly moves, takes thunder damage. Fuck yeah. Okay, so that's Durrag. Dolly, we're over to you. You have been attacked by your potential paramour, and he was so distraught at the concept that he failed horribly, and you broke his spear, and now he is standing in front of you with a half a spear in his hand, just looking at you like he doesn't know what to do. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Do you want to press your luck and try to, like, charm him more? Do you want to smack him in the head? Do you want to ignore him and go help one of your allies? Do you want to throw a table at some of the bar patrons to engage them in the fight? Whatever you think would be interesting or helpful or fun is your choice.
Dolly. So I pick up that chair beside me
Okay, yeah.
and I just hurl it across his face.
Jesus.
So, like smack him with the chair type scenario?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Roll me. I'm gonna say roll me an athletics check. 18. Very, very good. Yeah, so I think this guy, very kind of like, out of his element in this particular moment, thought he had a thing going on, suddenly gets called to stop a bar fight, realizes that you were a part of the bar fight, fails to do his job, and then gets smacked in the face with a chair. I'm going to say roll me 2d4 plus your strength modifier. So just roll 2d4s real quick.
Here.
Yes.
Do I push that?
I have no idea what that button does. I would just click that button twice.
Okay. This guy, and what's your strength modifier? Can you help with that?
Well, open your sheet, baby. Scroll up. Scroll. The number above your stat is your modifier.
Right here? So
Yeah.
3?
Yes.
3?
Okay,
What about
so this guy is going to take 7 bludgeoning damage from the chair smashing in his face, right? And he's also going to take 1 psychic damage from what he feels like is a little bit of a hurtful situation.
He loved you.
As he's like, I thought we had kind of like hit it off. So
you guys have a thing.
that is there
With a
anything
chair don't mean nothing.
is there
He might
anything
like
else
you.
you want to do for your turn?
Wink at him. Maybe he'll like you again.
Yeah, I'll do a little wink.
You wink, you mix signaling this guy? Roll me
I'm good at that.
a persuasion at disadvantage because you just hit him in the face with a chair. Doesn't mean it can't work.
Look,
it
she's
just
just
means
scrambling his brains so that
Listen,
he's
it's different for cultures.
Look,
Maybe this is
maybe.
her way.
It's possible.
This is foreplay and orc culture.
That's right.
If she succeeds on the persuasion check, that's what he'll think it is. Is he'll
That
go,
ain't bad.
Maybe that means a 9 on the persuasion check won't quite do it. The DC was 10. He just looks a little hurt, and now he's kind of got this like look on his face of like, I
feel bad for him.
All right, back to the
He's
job, I
gonna
guess.
crazy.
Right, and he just like puts his hands
Yeah,
up, like
he's
I
never
guess
gonna
we're
trust
doing
women again.
this.
He's
Right.
gonna have problems forming meaningful relationships in the future.
All right,
Yeah.
that's Dolly's turn. It
You couldn't
is
do it.
now the brawler that is facing off against Guy and Artorias. Okay, so this brawler is going to do two things. The first thing he's going to do is he is going to reach out, and Guy, you realize his hand is massive compared to
Is
your
he
head.
gonna palm my head?
He's gonna palm your hand. He's gonna try to basketball
up.
palm your head. So he is
Fucked
going
up.
to
I'm offended.
he is going to make a grab attack by slamming his hand down on your head. So that will be a
yeah, he's gonna.
25.
Wait, doesn't he have disadvantage? Didn't he? Get
Actually, hold on. Yeah, if this is an attack, then Artorias is going to impose disadvantage on it.
Okay, he didn't have disadvantage. Linsey targeted the other guy, so Artorias would need to use the
Yeah. Artorias
so-
uses his reaction to bork at this man as
Bork?
he's
Bork?
trying to grab me.
Fantastic. Okay, second attack.
What the hell, Jeremy?
Damn, you getting grabbed, bro.
You getting
What the
fucking
fuck?
palmed, my dude. I will say it's less damage this time, but this
One less damage, I guess.
this guy's hand comes down like a fucking boulder rolling down the side of a mountain and just hits your head, and it hurts. You take 5 bludgeoning damage, and then he grabs you and lifts you up in front of him with one hand.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Now that he has you grabbed, he is able to, instead of making his basic haymaker attack, he is going to make his special grappled haymaker attack. He rears back with his left
Oh,
hand
great.
while you're just held there, and boom, goes straight for your face.
Excellent.
All right, so this is at normal. The 23.
Cool.
Got anything?
I guess I'm gonna shield.
You're gonna shield? Woof. Shield goes up.
Yeah.
That blocks it.
Yep.
All right. Hell yeah. So an arcane shield goes up this guy's fist, which you know is gonna fucking hurt.
That would have been
Just
less than
hits
ideal.
and boom, slides off. And you can see, like, there's impact from your shield on this guy's hand, and he kind of, like, jerks it back, like, shaking it, like, ow, what the fuck? Right? Kind of like moment.
Fine.
And that
Put me
is
down.
that is the orc brawler, or the human brawler's turn, and Guy is grappled. So now it is this orc rampart guy. He moves because he doesn't know anything about booming blade, so he will automatically take that damage. That is going to be 6. Fuck yeah. And so booming blade is done. And he's just gonna like rush across and thrust at Durrag, but it's gonna be at disadvantage because of Linsey's frostbite. So he comes across and he will make a 2-handed spear attack. Ooh, big miss. And Linsey or Durrag is able to easily like just shift to the side. Spear goes wide, rears back, thrusts again. And technically this should be one-handed because he has his shield up, not two-handed. So, still a big miss. Doesn't matter. Apparently, I can only hit Mitch.
Yeah.
Apparently.
As
That
let's
seems
be honest,
about right.
as is the norm, right? Mitch,
Yep.
Jay fails the
There's a
Constitution
reason Matt
saving
has,
throws,
like, a
and I hit
billion
Mitch.
HP.
Yep, that is the sky is blue, the grass is green. All right, Dolly, top of the round. You've made this guy sad.
I made a character with 20 AC at level 3, and you still beat
I
the shit
still
out of me.
hit you twice.
Mm.
Oh fuck. He's sad, Dolly. He he flips the spear, the chunk of spear that he still has in his hand, and he basically like uses it like a dagger, and he goes to smack you with it. So he's going to make 2 one-handed spear attacks. They will have less damage if they actually hit. So here is the first one. That is a 19. It does hit. So it's not 7 damage. It is 5 damage coming your way, unless you have something to do about it, which I don't think you do.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I have a shield.
You have a shield that you actually wear. That's just going to increase your AC, which should already be a part of the overall scenario. So
it
that
should
does hit.
auto-calculate.
So you're going to take 5 damage, and then he's going to try to hit you again. And that's a 10. That'll miss. So you only get hit once. You take 5 damage. And that is the end of his turn. And it's Guy's turn again.
All right. So grappled is just my movement 0, right?
Movement 0. That's all it is. He's got you. He's got you up in the air like this, so you can't run around on him. But you can still smack the shit out of him.
Well, he
or cast
lifted me up
things.
higher, so I'm gonna swing at his face with my scabbarded
Okie
sword.
dokie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Eat
God.
shit.
All right.
I mean,
fucking Mitch
tit for
Lilly
tat.
to stop bogarting the crits.
Okay, -5.
Phoebus.
Yeah.
39.
No, look like this. Look, I'm gonna show you. You're in here.
Okay.
You say -5, and it figures it for you.
Yeah, I mean, you whap him across the fucking face with your scabbarded sword, and it hurts. It, like, clearly hurts. It, like, knocks a little, like, blood from his mouth, and he's just kind of blurry-eyed for a moment and just looks at you like, what the fuck?
Sir, could you please put me down?
He
And
looks
then
like he wants to
Artorias
throw
bites
you out
him.
the door. Okay, 14 also hits. Yeah, absolutely. Another 8 damage. Good rolls.
Do we
Good
want to
rolls.
just ahead of time specify non-lethal?
I think this is bar fight, so
I
unless
mean, I'm fighting with a scabbard sword.
unless
so.
anyone
okay.
comes in and is like, no, I want to kill this motherfucker, I'm assuming that everyone is just kind of like smacking. There's probably a little bit of cutting and stabbing going, but nothing mortal, you know? So, 14 hits. Anything else for Guy and Artorias?
No, that will be it for now.
Keith, you are up, still on the table. There is a orc that is close to you now because he's fighting Durrag. So if you try to make any ranged attacks, he could potentially foul you up. So that's a concern. But other than that, it seems like this fight has turned into these 3 smaller fights. And Dohma Raskovar is still watching, and specifically watching you after you fucking shot an arrow through his earring.
No pressure. I kind of don't like that this guy's holding him up. So if I shoot him, will he let him go?
It may or may not cause him to drop it. It's entirely, you're not sure, but it could happen. I will say, if you make a ranged attack right next to this orc, you're going to do so at disadvantage because he'll try to, like, jab you with the spear as you're doing it. So you'll need to either take disadvantage on any attack, or you'll need to move away from him, which would provoke an attack of opportunity.
Ugh.
Or you can just turn your attention to him and attack him in melee or something like that. That's up to you. All options on the table.
I guess I'll attack
I'll cover
him.
you.
You're talking about this guy, right? This guy
Yes,
here.
yeah, that
I'll
guy.
attack him at disadvantage. I'm okay with that.
Okay, sounds good.
Just to see if I can get him to back up.
Sounds... Okay, so you're going to attack the orc at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See how low that is.
Oh, a 20 will fucking do it. Absolutely. Disadvantage
I tell him to
20.
back off.
Roll your damage for that. Awesome. 9 fucking damage. Ooh. He sees you kind of like draw back the bow, right? And you're not like trying to shoot him through the eye or through the heart or anything like that, but he still doesn't want to get shot. So he tries to like hook his shield up and block your shot, but that just opens his legs, so you basically like shoot him through the calf, right? And he just kind of like is like, what the fuck? He doesn't move back away from you, but you do a hefty chunk of damage to him, and he is looking pretty hurt at this point.
Okay. And that's my turn.
All right, Linsey, you're up.
All right, I see Guy over there not doing the best of most, and I'm like, you got it, buddy, and I'll cast Curing Word.
What's that?
What is a curing word?
Healing Word, my bad.
Okay,
Oh.
I was like, wait, what?
Curing Word.
I was like, that's a
Okay,
new one.
He heals 8, and you see a separate moat, like a star, drift out of Linsey and over towards Dolly.
Ah,
who
double heal.
heals
Okay.
For 1d8 plus my whiz, which is 4, so 7.
Jesus. Okay, so Guy heals 8, Dolly heals 7. All of the party's wounds are completely healed. So everyone is back up to full HP in like a single instant from Linsey. Cool. Anything else?
That'll be in turn.
All right, fantastic. Durrag, you're up. The orc that is facing off against you is not looking especially hot.
Just go back.
Well, no, he said. What? How much does she? She gains 3, right?
She's full. It's 3 plus
It's a
4.
spectacle.
Oh, then yeah, just go right for it.
I don't think I did it right.
You can type +7, or you can type just 42
I did
42.
say 42.
and hit enter. There you go. You got it, babe.
So, Durrag, what do you attendees want to do?
Tinder. His name is Tinder, not
Tendies.
Tendies.
I'm aware. I'm calling him Tendies.
Hurtful.
Chicken
I'm gonna make that fucking owl into chicken. Let's go.
Wow, that's one of the more hurtful things that's ever been said to me.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it is.
Well, you know.
All right. Tinder uses the help action, and then I booming blade him again and stab him at advantage. That's a 12.
12
to
is
hit.
not gonna do it. He
Hey,
still
not
has he still has his shield kind of like interposed towards Keith, but he's just quick with his spear and armored, and you're not able to actually get a hit off on him.
Doesn't matter. Made an attempt.
Made an attempt.
And I go.
Can walk away
5,
with mobile.
5. Where do I
Very
wanna
nice.
go? Hold on. Let me go. Let me read this real fast. Hold on. Okay.
Check 5.
I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'm right here.
Oh. Fantabulous. Dolly, you're up.
Okay, Dolly's gonna take. What?
Go ahead. No, have at it.
I'm gonna take my warhammer
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just gonna go for the kidney.
Jesus.
So this guy, you broke this guy's spear, you broke this guy's heart. He looks at you, he tries to stab you with the spear, succeeds once, right? Like trying to dagger you with it. And he, even when he hits you, he looks half-hearted about it. And then you pull out this fucking warhammer like you're done playing, and he dies inside.
Poor guy.
Go ahead and
Poor
swing.
guy.
What am I doing?
You're
On your character
Something.
sheet, there should be a little warhammer thing, and you can click that.
no, scroll. It's in your attacks. Yeah. So that top one is the one you want, babe.
What do I put?
You just click it. Like that.
19
You're not
absolutely
random.
hits, 100%.
So
So
then click the
if you will click
warhammer.
on that warhammer one-handed in the chat, boom. Now you're not raging currently, so it only deals the 7 damage. It doesn't deal the 2, but
Yep.
7 damage is a solid hit. So yeah, you swing the warhammer wide, and he kind of like throws out his shield, catches it, but it hits so hard that it kind of like rams the shield into the side of his head, right? And he's kind of just like, ah, fuck, what am I doing? You know, right? Like, why is this happening to me? Anything else for your turn?
What can I do for my turn?
So on your turn, you have an action, which you just use to attack. You can move around, but if you walk away from an enemy, they'll get an attack of opportunity against you, and you normally don't want to do that unless you have a reason to, right? And you have a thing called a bonus action, and bonus actions can be used for various little things. For you, that tends to be something like raging, right? So you can go into a rage, you'll take less damage and deal more damage. But you only have so many of those, so you might not want to do that type of thing. Also, a lot of times, I will let people do smaller things with their bonus actions if they're like, hey, can I do this thing with a bonus action? So if you wanted to, like, just kick a chair at someone, or just, like, mouth off, or just, like, do something fun with a bonus action, more power to you, right?
Can I just give him a thumbs up?
You're just gonna, you're gonna hit him with a warhammer, and then give him a thumbs up. Roll me an intimidation check? This guy's very confused. He's getting very mixed signals. A 20? This guy is so confused that if he attacks you next turn, he will have disadvantage on that attack. That, like, flat out, he is so fucking unsure and maybe turned on and doesn't know what to do about it. And that's that. Up to the human brawler. All right, Guy, you are still grappled by this human brawler. He is going to make his special haymaker attack against you. Against a grapple target, rears back.
There's
Big
no
hand
way he
flying
gets
in.
me again.
And okay, so
Shit.
that is no dice. He will at the same time he will haymaker, and by haymaker I mean kick. He'll try to just kick Artorias. So this will be
Dude, I'm trying to kick my dog.
he tries to kick your dog, dude. That's a 20.
That is fucked up. Yeah, that hits Artorias.
All right. So that is
Bastard.
7
All right,
bludgeoning damage.
now I'm gonna actually kill him.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Look,
We're
your
all against
dog
Darcy,
bit
but
him
someone took the dog.
twice. Your dog has done more damage to him than he's done to your dog. Or you, for that
Yeah,
matter.
He should have kicked my dog.
The Orc Rampart, having been facing off against Durrag, but Durrag has mobiled his way out of the situation, and having been shot by Keith, now turns his spear on Keith. So he's just gonna stab twice up at Keith. So spear once. That is a 24 to hit Keith. You got anything to do, Keith, or are you taking that?
I don't think I can do anything to avoid that.
All right, that's
I say,
8.
no, get down! And I take the damage.
Oh, shit!
I
Okay.
throw myself in front of it.
Absolutely. I will say, in order to do that, I want you to move down 1 square, okay?
All right, fine with me.
And Durrag will activate his special objective to... Is that get down, Mr. President?
It is.
Yeah, so Durrag has the get down, Mr. President card. So as this orc thrusts at Keith, Durrag just shouts and throws himself in the way and will take the 8 damage for you.
I take it.
That's your friend.
Very nice.
No, leader!
All right. Unperturbed or perhaps perturbed, this rampart will again thrust at Keith, trying to hurt Keith. It's a 15.
That
Does
misses.
not hit. All right, so that is a big ol' miss. That rampart is done. The one facing off against Dolly is going to half-heartedly make attacks against Dolly. Very, very unhappy with the situation. A 15 instead of a natural 20, so very good that he has disadvantage. A 15 will still hit Dolly, though. But it's good that it's not a crit. So it will instead be 6 damage Dolly's way. and then he will try to hit Dolly again. And a 12 misses. Now, after his turn of indecision, he's back to neutral, right? Like your flirtation with him has worn off, so now he's back to like, wait, maybe I should kick this girl out. I don't know what's going on, right? And we're back to Guy.
All right.
Scary.
I'm not gonna pull out my blade just yet.
You're not?
but
No?
If he kicks Artorias again.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
That is unfortunate.
11 misses.
Then Artorias bites at him.
24 hits, yes. Look, Artorias has given more than he's got.
Chomp.
Another chomp, another force bite from the... Deal with your dog!
Put me down.
And it's Keith's turn. Keith, you are still in melee with this orc, so that is still a problem. What do you want to do?
He's really beat up, right?
He's pretty damn beaten up, yes.
Like I don't wanna like KO this guy, but I do want him to give up.
All of this fight is non-lethal, right? So if you get him to the breaking point, you're not gonna kill him unless you say you want to kill him. Instead, you're just gonna force him out of the fight, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I will attack him.
Lily high rolling tonight. 23
Kinda.
definitely hits. So, we're going to roll your damage on the 23. Ooh, low damage. So only a 4. But he still takes another hit.
I see 4 plus 6.
Well, so the 6 is because of the 25, right? Because of the crit, it's going to roll the crit damage.
I see.
But you only get the actual first damage because of the disadvantage. Yeah.
I
So,
see. Okay.
so he takes another hit. He's looking real rough. Not quite there yet. Anything else for Lindsay's turn?
Nope.
All right, Keith's turn. Anything? Now we are to Lindsay's turn. Sorry, I'm a bottle of wine in, and we got
No,
new
it's totally
names.
fine, and we also have like these gender neutral.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keeping you on your toes.
Mr.
Yep,
President.
All right. I see that there have been some more boo-boos, so let's take care of those.
There are some more boo-boos. Are you just the boo-boo doctor? Is that what's going on here?
At least for now.
You're just a
I've got
boo-boo
other
doctor?
things, but
Hey, there's
But,
nothing wrong
yeah.
with that. It's nice to have a boo-boo. It's nice to have a boo-boo doctor.
okay, so I look to Durrag and cast Healing Word.
Oh yeah, heal me with your sweet, sweet voice.
And the word I choose to be the healing word is Schmomph.
Ah, yeah.
Get
It's been a
Schmomph.
while since I've heard Schwamp.
Schwamp.
And we'll do another 6 to Dolly as well.
Okay, so I wanted to ask. Okay, so Dolly is again back to full. I wanted to ask, your last turn, you actually did the exact same thing. You used a healing word. Did you use an action your last turn?
No, I did not.
That is a bonus action. I will
Yeah,
give
that
you.
is a bonus. Oh, shit, no.
The effect
Yep.
of your starry form just happens, right? It doesn't take an action or a bonus action, right?
No, it takes a bonus action. So I did not
but-
do it the first turn. So I
But
did
your
not bonus action.
your starry form takes a bonus action to activate. I'm saying when it takes effect, like it did just now,
Yep.
that doesn't cost you anything, right?
No, the actual effect doesn't cost anything.
Okay, so
Just
you've
turning
only
into
used a
full.
bonus action. I will give you 2 actions because you should have had 1 action last turn and an action this turn. What do you want to do with it?
Yeah, he's double acting.
Oh, cool. Well, if that's the case, let's send a frostbite
Sure.
to the one at The one holding Guy.
Okay. DC 14.
Yep.
Oop. 22 makes it, so does not take
Yep.
effect.
That's fine, and I'll just do another one.
At him
So,
again.
Save again.
And 5.
And
that one
take-
works. So
3 and
minus 3
disadvantage.
HP, and he has disadvantage on his next attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In turn.
Fuck yes. Is there like a little icicle or anything like that here?
I mean, there's the snowflake.
Oh, where's the snowflake? I'm very blind right now. Snowflake! Here it is. Oh, snowflake. This is loud. I need to turn this down. Okay, sweet. Linsey's done. Durrag, owl. You jumped in front of Mr. President, taking a hit, and then you were healed. So you're mostly good now. What do you want to do?
Yeah, mostly good. Woo!
Yeah, woo!
I love mostly good. I do the same shit on a different day.
He does it.
Yeah,
Same shit, different day.
screeches. And I lash out with the boom rapier.
Tindy flies in the face of this fucking orc. Gives you
not
advantage,
really
which you needed. 20 hits.
It's,
5 piercing damage. And he is now boomed.
Go over there.
All right, cannot make an attack. It's Dolly. Dolly. This guy is so fucking confused. You hit him with a chair. He stabbed you. You hit him with your warhammer. He tried to stab you. He doesn't know what's going on. What do you want to do?
I think
You think?
I'm gonna take the rock on my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was gonna say impale.
Yeah, you can horn attack him.
I'm going to horn attack.
You're gonna like just lower your head and like ram into him? Absolutely. Okay. Do you have like an actual special
Damn.
ram attack, or
Dolly's
are
doing
we
the
just
penetrating.
ad-libbing this?
I have horns.
Okay. Yeah.
on the little thing
Click
booker.
them. 100%. Click them.
What did I do? I changed my settings.
Click and drag to roll dice.
I also wish there were more boo-boo doctors.
Damn, that's a
25.
natty 20.
Fuck yes. Okay, so on a 25, I'm gonna say roll an athletics check for me as well, and he's gonna make a counter athletics check. He does have a +6 to this, so he rolls a 25, and you roll a 12. Okay, roll your damage on your horns.
What do I do?
So you can just click the little horns in chat, and it will roll.
Over there.
Everyone feel free, if you don't want to have to click a second time to have your damage pop up, there is a little selection that you can say to just have your damage automatically roll, so you don't have to click twice. But that is another 7 damage to this orc. So you lower your horns and you basically just like ram him with your horns, and there's a moment where you have the opportunity to like charge with him and like slam him into the bar, but he like sets his feet. He's like, oh, whoa, this is I think this may have awoken something in me. And he like pushes
God.
back against you, right? To where you hit him and you hurt him, but you don't like charge him across the room and into the bar, so you're still in the same position. Anything else for your turn?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to give him a nice big smile. And
I will say, unless
job.
something changes, this is the last time you can mix signal persuade this guy, because you've just smacked him around so many times that he's not gonna fall for it again unless something else changes. So roll me a persuasion check. He might fall for it this time, but in the future, you just keep hurting him, and he's like, wait, no. 7. He's just like, nuh-uh, not this time.
Yeah.
Nope. All right, we are
Fool me
to the
thrice,
human brawler.
Shame on me.
All right, this guy is going to, feeling his muscles slow from the frostbite, rear back, and he's going to try to smash Guy in the face, desperate to get his special grapple haymaker off, but he's going to do so at disadvantage.
Oh my god! I have never.
Wow. Wow.
That was a good frostbite. That was a good frostbite
I
right
don't
there.
think I don't
Holy
think there
shit.
could be a better frostbite.
All right, he is going to roll to confirm that critical failure, and does. He, on back-to-back natural ones, he rears back. You can see his muscles slowed, his movement slowed from the frostbite, so much so, Guy, that you were able to see his haymaker coming, grab his wrist, use it to leverage yourself to the side, right, so that he can't hit you, and the motion of your weight twists his wrist. You hear this popping sound, and he cries out, drops you to the ground, and starts rubbing his wrist. Roll me 1d4 damage, and he'll take it.
Yeah.
And you are no longer grappled.
Fuck your wrist.
And those, for our new players, are an example of what happens if you critically
double
fail
that
and then confirm the critical, right? Is a little something that kind of like fucks up with your flow of the fight, right? So he has now dropped you. He's taken a little bit of damage. He still has a second attack, and so he's just gonna look at you and he's like rubbing this wrist, and then he like swings out with the other hand at your face to try to like re-grab you.
Wow. Rude.
He's like, "No, you get back here!" And it's a 16, and I think that misses. Yep. All right. Fantastic. All right. That is the end of the human brawler's turn. It is this orc rampart's turn. Doesn't have to move, so he's just gonna stab at Keith.
Again.
22. He's got the archer right next to him, so he sees no reason other than to just stab the archer, who, by the way, keeps shooting him.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
so 7 damage to Keith, and then he's gonna stab again. The 10. The 10 will miss. So Keith takes 7 damage, misses the second attack. The orc fighting against Dolly is no longer thrown by her charms and will stab at her normally. A 14 misses, I believe. Yeah, Dolly has 15. And then a 26 is a crit. So that will hit. So Dolly will take a chunk of damage on that one. Dolly will take 12 damage as this guy, his heart being played with, maybe goes a little harder than intended and goes to kind of like try to stab Dolly in like the arm, misses, and instead stabs Dolly in the chest. Right?
Damn.
And Dolly's fine, but there's definitely this moment from this orc where he's like, oh shit, right? But at the same time, ow, you've been beating the shit. I shouldn't feel bad about this. Fuck you. And it's Guy's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna continue slashing at this dude. No longer held up to his face, so I'm probably gonna miss.
No longer. 14 just hits.
Okay.
6 damage.
And then I'm going to command Artorias to bite at him.
Artorias. Bite.
Bite.
Whoa, is that
Ooh,
a 6? Is that a 1?
it is a 6.
And please confirm that critical. Oh, you're good. You're Gucci. Also, for our uninitiated, if you fail, if you critically fail, and then on the confirmation roll you instead roll a natural 20, typically I'll let something good happen instead. It'll be like a reverse kind of like moment, you know?
Reverse.
So, Anything else for Guy and Artorias? This brawler this bouncer is looking real fucked up at this point, by the way.
I think that's it for now.
All right, it's Keith. Keith, this fucking orc just won't quit.
I'm just pissed off at this point.
Keeps stabbing at you. 2 20s. I don't know what happened during our session, like our danger room scenario, but it's fucking gone now.
Well, I popped the window out.
You popped popping the window out. There's a
And you
secret
changed
for
your
color.
color.
I did. I changed to orange. I went from green to orange.
20 definitely hits. That is 5 damage. This orc had 5 HP left. That is an orc out of the fight. However, and this is important, I think, for everyone to note, as this orc goes down, right, like withdraws, the orcish racial ability Relentless kicks in. And this orc, who is not incapacitated, before he goes out of this fight, is going to stab at Keith one last time.
Better fucking miss.
And absolutely misses.
Good.
So,
Stay down.
and I will say, for my player characters, not my players necessarily, but their characters would know that orcs are famed for this kind of like relentless like last moments where their enemies think that they're dead, but they grip the sword that's thrust through them and they, slash your throat types of situation, to the point to where it is known that orcs that kill someone in their death throes often are so energized by the moment that they will not die, right? So people should keep that in mind, since we're in a place of a bunch of orcs, right? Okay, but this guy is now out of the fight. Gets shot again, throws hands up, spear goes down on the floor, steps back, not dead, but stumbles out of the fight, and is just like, I give, we're done, right? So he is gone. We are, Keith, it's still your turn. You used your action, you still have your bonus action, and your movement, which you now can move without the fear of being, having an attack of opportunity against you if you so choose. Or you can just stay put. That's you, Lily.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
Do you have a bonus action or do you want to move?
No, I'm good.
All good. Linsey, you're up.
I see that she's kind of hurt
Okay.
a little bit, but she's on the table, on the ground.
Yeah.
So you see like this little starry form, like jump up and try to reach your toe
Wow.
and cast Cure Wounds.
Gotcha.
So 9 healing to
9 health back. Keith is back to full.
and
Thank you.
the moose lady gets another 6.
Dolly gets another 6 HP. Hell yeah. We are to Durrag and Tendy.
Alright, I throw Tinder, I say go! And as he goes,
Where's Tinder going?
Flies over there.
He's like,
He
I
carries the man.
was dealing with this and now I'm not.
As he reaches, and in his wake, I cast a slow firebolt.
Ooh, okay.
It's a firebolt that travels
Are
slightly slower
you?
than an owl.
What are you doing? The fucking like like the Fuma shuriken, the shuriken in the shadow of the shuriken. So your firebolt is in the shadow of the owl as the owl flies in the face of the enemy.
That's how I'm playing this help action, yes.
Very nice. Okay, cool. Sounds good. You roll a firebolt with advantage. That's a 20.
Fire
Hits.
damage.
5 fire damage. Fuck yeah. Move your owl. I can't click the guy.
Boomerang's back.
He boomerangs back. Guy
Yeah,
gets
I
shot in
can't- I
the
can't
chest
see
for
his
5
HP.
fire damage.
When the owl's on top of him.
Yeah, it just overlaps. Anything else for Durrag?
Something changed in
That's
roll
it.
20. The HP bars don't stay over the icons. I have to mouse over them.
Ooh.
And whenever
me.
whenever the
Owl is
animal
on
over-
someone you can't see.
yeah, over
Interesting.
Durrag,
Interesting.
nothing pops up. I'm like,
Okay,
dang it.
okay. We'll try to keep that in mind. All right, Dolly, you're up. This guy's done. This guy's done with your shenanigans. But at the same time, he's also looking pretty beat up. So you know he doesn't have much gas left in the tank. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take my javelin.
Ooh,
Shit.
you gonna
Why?
fucking spear this guy?
I mean, he didn't go for the last time, so I'm just gonna.
All
beat
right.
him out. I was being
Okay.
nice.
All right. Roll a javelin attack.
So you're gonna stab him with your javelin.
What am I doing?
Go up. So these are everything in your,
Okay, I know.
this is in your inventory, and most things that have an attack in your inventory are bad as your
Are in your attack field.
I need one.
Ooh, a 20. Dear Lord. Yeah, that
You're not
hits.
throwing it, you're just like stabbing at it.
Yeah, it's a melee attack. You can use a javelin basically
Yeah,
just like a
you
spear.
didn't have enough of him. Now, like, I'm gonna impale you, bitch.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
I click on that.
Yeah, quick javelin. If you wanted to auto roll, I can show you how to do it. That's
All
what I
right,
did.
another 8 damage his way. He's looking real hurt. Like, you actually stab him that time, and he's not, like, he's defending himself, but after that bolt and the mixed signals, he's a little thrown off. He gets hit by that javelin, and you actually, like, stab him in the shoulder, and he's like, ow! And now it's the Brawler's turn. The Brawler is going to... My music stopped entirely? Oh, no, we're just on the quiet part. Brawler is going to try to grab Guy again. That's 20.
Artorias is going to deflect attack.
Okay, imposes disadvantage. Grabs again. 16 misses. All right. He's tired of this dog. He tries to kick the dog. 14.
No!
Misses.
Misses.
Don't fucking touch my dog.
It's like, your dog's coming at me real hard. You can't be like this. You can't bring a dog into battle and have the dog hurt people and not expect people to hurt the dog.
That's
I
true.
can and will. Don't touch my dog.
All right, it is the orc fighting against Dolly's turn. He's half-heartedly stabs at Dolly with a 20. That is gonna hit.
Wholeheartedly stabs.
Wholeheartedly stabs Dolly for 9 damage. And then we'll stab again. Oh, sorry, that's not 9 damage. I forget. He doesn't have a spear anymore. He basically has a dagger. So that is 5 damage to Dolly. And then another 23. He's done.
Lord.
He's tired. He's feels like he's been played, and he's got the shit kicked out of him, and then you stabbed him, right? He is done. You take another 5 damage, so Dolly takes 10 damage total for that round, and it is Guy's turn.
Okay. Guy is going to commence smacking this guy some more.
That's a hit. 9 damage. This guy had 9 HP left. You hit him with the flat of your blade. You hear a pop, right? And he just got like, oh, okay, all right, nope, I'm good, nope, I'm done. And both his hands go up, and immediately, as soon as that happens, as 2 of the 3 bouncers are down, you hear a high-pitched whistle come from Dohma Raskovar.
Can it not?
Really?
High-pitched whistle come from Dohma Raskovar, and all of the fighting.
One of my cards is to take 2 people down in one fight.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
fam.
no.
Sorry. All of the fighting that has been happening in this place, which the barroom brawl has been going on this entire time. Everyone around you has been throwing stuff, punching each other, wrestling on tables and under tables, etc. Immediately, like everyone in the fucking bar stops. And Dohma Raskovar says, not to any of these other fucks, just to you all, right? Alright. Enough. Consider me impressed. Let's talk below. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session. As you have now proven yourself to Dohma Raskovar, taking the subtle but not subtle approach, basically fighting your way in but not as enemies, and now being
Friendly
invited
fight.
into the depths of the Ivory Throne. But you do so having used some resources, with Dolly a little hurt, Artorias a little hurt, and the question now becomes, what next? Where is Dohma Raskovar going to take you? And what's going to happen when you get there? And we will see what all that is next time on Where Evil Lives. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.